What's up, everybody? What's up? Well, this is the time that we all been waiting for. It's the AFCON is kicking off. Yes, today everybody has the eyes on Africa, the continent of Africa. We're getting ourselves ready to watch Morocco versus the Comoros, the grand opening, the time where everybody from the diaspora to the curious eyes of the world are now here to watch and see what the African continent is one all about, to what team spirit is going to show, and it's also a preparation for the rest of the world to see what essentially Africa's best team will showcase what they're essentially getting ready. So, but for those of you that may be a little new to the AFCON, African Cup of Nation, or for those European French also call them CAN, but one thing that I'm hoping that you all get to enjoy for this tournament, especially, is that you get to watch what the other side of the world also. Oh, there's a famous Moroccan over there that was dancing with Senegal. He's actually at the stadium, and the camera is all over him once again, which is not surprising whatsoever. But I know everybody's talking about Morocco, the country that's hosting it, and have done pretty well for themselves at this moment. They're the clear favorite, even though mon frère Hakimi is not playing due to injuries, but they're still stacked up. They're still ready. Now, the question is the storyline that we will get. Are we going to get the amazing storyline of Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast winning it all, even though they were pretty much on the brink of dying? Or will they be one of the minnows or the smaller teams that's going to show what they're capable of and make some noise? Or it will be the clear favorites to win it? That is never guaranteed when it comes to AFCON. It is a never guarantee because you never know what's going to happen. So this is one of the main reasons why we are celebrating this tournament, because on any given day, a team can stand up, show pride for their countries, pride for the continent, and show the rest of the world that no matter where ranked they are, they were going to make noise, which is what we all appreciate. So I hope everybody else gets to enjoy. Luckily for you all, you won't be just listening to me talking. There will be quite a few of my good friends joining me today. So it's going to be a full panel from across the world, from North America to Paris to Morocco, Marrakesh. This is going to be a fun one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick pause. We're going to get back, get ourselves ready. Don't forget, the game starts at 1 p.m. Central Time. So we still have a little bit of time to chit chat. But just wanted to make sure that everybody was ready, everybody prepared. Get yourself ready, because the AFCON, CAF, African Cup of Nation, the pride of the African continent, is going to be showcased. And Morocco now has the center stage to show everybody, essentially, that they are ready for the World Cup 2030. Hey, yes, they are ready. So we'll see you soon. Quick break, and we'll be back.
look, this is
Yes,
it's oh
people. Yes, yes. He's
well,
on.
green room
Yes.
talks. Green room talks are a whole
Hey,
thing. The
yes,
green room was
he's
hot.
out. I told you, don't hide.
I'm right here.
There's no
I'm
hiding
not.
here.
I'm not really famous. Like I'm
But
right here.
hey, that clip, for those of you, since we were doing a lot of discussion outside of this,
Mhm.
offline, on the whole media backside of the story, and I think a lot of you have sort of made our clip very um, interesting because a lot of people have responded regarding players wanting to switch to their paternal maternal country after a their country made the World Cup or AFCON or whichever. Our discussion was more so of just like Africa said, right? It's not a linear discussion when
Yeah.
it comes to those players. We only hear one side of each.
Hmm.
Um, but Akwasi, you had, um, I guess, an interesting take. I think we're not in agree. I think we're on the how I don't know
We're
how
on
to
the
say it.
same pitch. Like I will. I am one like simply as we're waiting for Morocco Comoros to get going, and Morocco hosts another term, which we're hey guys, this is the standard. So let's do this is what we have to do. Like I don't mind players coming out because I am not one who's gonna look at a player based off their time. Like we've had this conversation. Your career isn't guaranteed. And
Yes.
so if you're going, I don't think there's anything wrong with exploring your options. I have no issues with that because as much as we will want to look at players and say, oh well, think of X Y Z. Why are they coming? And right now, like it's a lot of Nketiah, it's a lot of Callum Hudson-Odoi with Ghana, and like their history with that. It's like I get that, right?
Yeah.
Ghanaian to me, I don't care. Like because here's the thing, we don't have AFCON that we can say, hey, let's bring players in and see how they can do. We don't have that. We have March, and then we have and then the World Cup. So this was my thought process at the end once we qualified. I'm like, okay, everyone else. I think on Ghana's side, you have maybe 10 players who you say, yeah, they're pretty much I for me, I'd say they're locks.
Yeah.
After that, everyone else has from December till March. Get yourself into form, then you pick. And I don't care. I don't care if they all come from the Ghana Premier League. I don't care if they all come from the Premier League. I get the best players for what the coach is trying to do.
Right.
If you think the unity in the camp matters that much, fine. Then pick it accordingly. I think players like one players need to be afforded that time. Not everyone's going to make that decision immediately. Yes, it'll be frustrating for fans. Yes, some of you want them to commit earlier. Others say, you know what, take your time. Others will want to see. By definition, it is legal still.
Yeah.
FIFA set it up so that players don't get into those situations where it's, hey, I'm going to do this. And then guess what? You're capped. You're predatory capped. And now you're representing this country from now until forever. You can't do anything. A player's allowed to look at their options. That's fine. I get where the one side says, "Hey, no, we don't want that type of players there." But for me, I look if you're up to it, come in. If you fit what the team needs, come on in. I don't think it's that big of a deal for me.
Yeah, I can understand that part as well. I think maybe it depends on which country I guess you're referring to and how much discussion they've had with those national teams and how I think it's when they fall out of favor. I think that's where things kind of change a little bit. I think right because although he had his chance with England,
Hmm.
right? So he was like in the first team and he was playing, and I think it just kind of fell out of favor. So that's when you're like, oh, what's my next option?
Hmm.
Versus, I guess Senegal, for example, we have like two players that kind of switch from France to Senegal, but they went to the academies and they saw their chances right, are making it to the French team. And then that's when they made that professional decision to go with Senegal because they have not played with the French team, right?
Mhm.
So they've not had the opportunity with the first team. They just saw that their chances during the process was not going to happen. So that's where I'm like totally fine with that because you look at your, trajectory, and even though the coaches know you, everybody knows your name, but still you know that you're not going to make it there.
True,
So
but
so I think that's where.
again,
Yeah,
I understand the points on all sides. For
yeah.
me, though, it's if you're going to be that staunch on it, like there's no I don't think you can be that black and white with it just
No,
because I
no,
think
yeah,
there's because what you then open your door for is just like you opening your doors for one shots. That's it. If you come. If you don't. And so if you are being that adversarial to players who are considering their options, regardless, again, we talked about this. The football community is small. Like this is not like, a billion people are here. This is a small community, and like how you treat one player will affect how two other players will look at you. So if that's how you want to approve it, hey, customer service, your front door, all those things, it becomes a thing. And so for me, I'm like, look, not everyone is going to make a decision day one. That's fine. When they make
yeah,
the decision, they make the decision. And like I said to you in the clip, right? Teams don't have teams are allowed to move on. Like I'm not saying we wait until a player makes their choice and then they're the end of it. You got things you got to do. You got teams you got to prepare for. You have tournaments you got to qualify for. So do it. I don't think it's as cut and dry as simply, hey, if they're not there, they're not there. No, okay, if we want to play that way, then and then it's so then when the next person when that friend comes in, then it's like, okay, yeah, but I saw how this happened here.
yeah,
Like, and that's where it's like if you watch it, it's all well and good to have that stance, and believe me, you can have your reasons for it, and I totally respect that.
yeah,
Are you consistent with it all the ways? Do we look at it the flip side? How many players have wanted to represent countries and then they look away and they don't, and then next thing you know, it's well, actually, well, we really were all about them. Where's the consistency? But now it's
yeah.
always on the. It's funny to me how the blame is always the players have to make the decision, right? It's the same thing with like I always have this conversation in Canada where it's like we always want all the duels, but then we
Yeah,
never ask ourselves, is our house in order enough for us to host, right?
yeah,
But we always go after the players, right? We're always going to go after players and say, oh, it's because of X, Y, and Z. But it's like, well, what about A, B, C? Like you need A before B before C. But but we're always going to say, well, it's the players they're wishy washy.
yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
well, and yes, it looks like they also the Prince and the teams are now getting this ready, and then it's raining
Ooh.
over there. So, and from what I'm hearing from a few people, it's not like during the day it is hot and nice, but during the nighttime it's not as warm as people expect. So they do have to come dressed appropriately. So
Yeah.
now there you have it. Now it is raining. So that also brings another discussions of what I think some people have heard online mentioning, why do they play now versus, during the summer and all that?
Hmm. For AFCON,
Here,
yeah.
but here's your another example. Africa is a huge continent, so that means they have multiple seasons.
Yep.
It's just like the US where each state have their own, you know, climate. Um, we always had the jokes here in St. Louis. You can have 3 seasons in one day because it's
Oh,
gonna get cold, it's gonna rain, and it's gonna be hot, and that's one day. Um, it's almost going to be 75 degrees on Christmas Eve here in December.
hmm.
So there you have it for the people that are asking about the climate. Now, Morocco is supposed to be hot, but it is raining. That's going to be a very interesting game. On top of that, the stadium is full.
Oh, of
People are
course it's full.
crazy. There's a famous face from AFCON of last year that has now joined us, and it's going to be a very fun one. And Chrissy, I will let you do a discussion, but we going to have another special guest very soon. So
Oh, for
it's not
sure.
going to be just you guys. Not just going to hear us two just blah blah blah. Because there's another famous person coming up very
Oh,
shortly.
okay. I am the third most famous person so far.
No,
I think
you're the second.
uh,
I'm just
top.
the smaller guy.
I'm happy to be top four at this point, so I'm not
Top
complaining.
four.
But,
There's
oh,
only
top.
three of us. How can you be top four?
Yeah, there's the honorable mention. I'm
Oh,
honorable
come on.
mention.
No,
Uh,
no.
Still, I'm excited for this tournament to get going. I am excited
But
regardless.
before we bring in Chris, I have one question for you though.
Okay,
Who's gonna win this game?
this game
Yes.
hosts
By how much?
3-1. Comoros is good enough to get a goal, but I'll go 3-1.
All right, perfect. So that's the perfect timing to have Chris. Can you hear us?
Yeah, what's going on? How you doing?
We're living the dream. This it's
Yeah,
AFCON. I can't complain.
there it is. There it is. I like
But
this.
yes, so Chris, this is your first time in Mo football. So before kickoff is happening shortly, just let the good people of who Chris is in Black Diamonds.
Yeah, so in Black Diamonds, I'm the founder and the president of Black Diamonds, but also, well, I mean, yeah, that's what you asked. So yeah, there you go. I was gonna
What's the
say,
also? Come on, yeah, it's your time. Let's go.
hey man, I appreciate it. The also is that I also podcast on our local USL championship team here in New Mexico called New
Okay.
Mexico United. I do a podcast show with a couple co-hosts called The State of United.
Yes, sir. So look at that, guys. We're talking AFCON. We have a guy that talks MLS soccer in the world. We're having the
USL, man.
Canadian.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
I
I'm
knew that
like,
was coming. USL, MSL. I'm sure that's going to come. That's a good one.
yeah,
That's good. And we have Canadian soccer as well. So we're covering the world, and then we add Africa on top of that.
Yeah.
And from what we're seeing right now, this rain that is not Morocco's weather. So don't get it misleading because this is madness.
It's certainly
It's pouring.
interesting, no doubt. But I mean, this is African football. It'll be vibesy. It'll be everything, and we're ready for all the different parts that come with it. So I am again excited for it regardless.
It's about to be kickoff, but um, and as Morocco just starting off here, so while we're watching this game as well for the prediction, before prediction, you guys watched the ceremony, right?
I caught a bit of it, yeah, but
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was awful because
yeah. I
they
got
it
a little
was
bit of
not
it.
there was not like one place where you could find it. I had to go somewhere in the Saudi Arabia to find it. But
uh,
so we'll circle back on that one. But so Chris, as right now Morocco has the ball, any prediction on the scoreline?
Mm, I mean, I'm kind of split. Like, I mean, I could definitely see a host winning this. I could see this being, I could see that 3-1 scoreline as well. I'm split because we had a player on our team um, that played or he got called up to the Comoros national team, and so part of me is like, oh man, I hope they also can get that dub. So I mean, like I want to watch this first half and kind of see what the vibe is, and then I might switch it up at half.
Nice, nice. All right, so Akwasi, it looks like I'm just a neutral, which is I just want to see a fun game. You as well, so it looks like Chris will be the one kind of stressing out, depending on what this game looks like, right?
listen, the
Yeah.
Ghanaian in me
Yeah.
sees Comoros, and I have just bad memories. So I
Oh,
see that, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Just and
deja
again,
vu.
I have a Morocco, I have a Hakimi agenda. So like I need Morocco to do well in
Mm,
every tournament to get my
Yeah,
African player to win the Ballon d'Or this year. So we'll see how that goes
okay. Okay.
yeah,
ultimately. So
yeah. I guess that makes sense. Maybe I am also on the Hakimi train because well, PSG player, but no,
But that,
this.
like as this half is going, Chris, I want to. I'm not sure how much you follow African football, but I do want to ask you this. They've just made an announcement that AFCON is moving from a biannual
Oof.
tournament, so every 2 years, going to four
Every four,
years.
right? Yeah.
Introducing Nations League, which I need to read more into just to kind of see how that is. But from an outsider looking in, do you prefer every tournament on 4 year cycle, or do you like the 2 years? Like we have the Gold Cup here, we have having AFCON every 2 years. What's your preference as a soccer fan for where you are?
I mean, I like the every 2 years. When I got into this, this is like the third AFCON I'm watching now.
Hmm.
So when I got into this, I really like the idea of every 2 years on the odd year of the World Cup, right? And that was
Hmm.
cool. I like that. I like the frequency of it, and because it's a 2025, but because of the climate, right? Because of the time of the year, it gets
Hmm.
pushed over, and it's happened more often than not, right? Like each time it's rounded out to January, even though it should have been in June. So I definitely like that aspect of it. The thought of going to like 4 years so that they can also like push in the Nations League, I'm not really a fan of it myself, just because it's like now we're not getting it as frequent, right? And I know we're supposed to get nations too, but they are also, are they still? And this is a question: are they still trying that Super League? Because that was a thing for a minute too, right? With they
Hmm.
had initially had a few teams, the club teams, and that was kind of the move, like what, like a year or two ago,
It was a move, and like it's nothing has really. It's an idea that's still floating in the wind, not as much as like the boogeyman of like the European Super League that is
right?
kind of there, but it's more so an idea that's floated. I think on the local level, the thing that's more intriguing to me is them getting rid of the Chan, because I've
Mm,
seen a lot of pushback on why are we getting rid of Chan? What about the local players, right? Because Chan is a term that I feel that I would love to see more confederations even dip into the idea of that, because I would love to see like the idea of even like a domestic only competition in CONCACAF, for instance. So it's basically yeah, just your top leagues. Make a
right.
team from your league and then just play in a tournament, even if they did it in like January when there's nothing really going on before they change the MLS schedule from that. I thought that would have the potential to do well here. Without that there, I know a lot of local players are now, and a lot of local leagues and supporters are saying, well, what about us? Because now, not nothing against AFCON. We love AFCON, but AFCON is what, 30% domestic players, 70% players coming from abroad, which isn't bad, but
Hmm.
how do we grow our part of the game without that? So it's definitely something to circle back to Super League. I'm wondering with more Club World Cup emphasis, what they'll decide to do with it, but
Right.
it's very much a curious. I'm watching to see what happens here because it could either end well or it could be a disaster, and we would watch it slowly either way.
It
Yeah,
looks
that's a good
like
take.
Morocco is on the front foot, and that's a good point for bringing this whole every 4 year.
Hmm.
I think it's mostly European countries that complain enough, and who do we have now in charge of FIFA is more there's more people that can get their way because he's listening to more of like the people in charge
Hmm.
than previous presidents, because you can see these changes did not just happen yesterday, right? So they've
Yeah.
had that
Right.
long conversation. For me, I don't really like it because they just follow the pressure of Europe and other countries to make AFCON every 4 years.
Right. There was a take that a friend had, which was that them doing this was almost like some caving pressure about, the European clubs, or, just in general, with the absence of their players. So that maybe might have been a motive. I don't know if it was
Hmm.
something that was ever stated behind closed doors,
Oh, it
you know?
was. Oh, it
Okay.
was. It. That argument has been happening for 20 years.
Hmm.
The only issue now is that now the Africa is producing a lot more top players, like the best top five of their each of the best players team in the world have now African players that are staple in their team.
Mm,
Before it was like second or third string players. They're like, oh, okay, they can go because it's not as obvious. But
Right.
now, if you watch some teams at previous years had two or three, like Liverpool, say for example, they had Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane gone at the same time for 6 weeks, and they all play during the final. So that means they play all of the games, and they come back and they're
Mm.
exhausted. They cannot play for Liverpool when now they've missed the biggest window in the EPL, which is Boxing Day, December to January. That's where they put a whole bunch of games. Those guys are gone.
So with them increasing the money to like 10 million,
That was the whole
um,
point. Yep.
right, which is funny because that's the same thing with the Super League. That was each the purse was huge,
Yep.
and that was
mm.
going to allow each club, whoever wanted, to essentially upgrade their facilities and or however else they were to use it. But do you think though now with a couple of tournaments and with say this one goes off, obviously the first African Nations League, and boy, that was a beautiful trophy that they whipped out there in that little promo presentation. But do you think now with if this grows properly, that players that that have because sometimes you have players that have these different dual citizenships and they have the option to have played for their nation, but they opted somewhere else. Do you think now that we might see a growing um, interest from players to maybe come back and play, especially now with a little bit more going on? Like the eyes are currently on the continent of Africa right now. You know what I mean? So
1,000%. I think
Mhm.
that was the point of why Morocco is the prime example of that too. Oh, I think they might be calling a PK for
hmm
Morocco.
that was a nice defense right there.
Indeed, but still. But like
He
to
was,
your point, Mo, like I think, and to piggyback on you, Chris, I think there's always going to be more eyes for a couple reasons. The first being you've expanded the right, and so once you've expanded the World Cup, you have more options than just say if you're in Holland, it's not just the Netherlands and you're done. You can look at a Curacao and say, look, I can make that team. We can qualify through CONCACAF or through Suriname or another Dutch island, and we could be good. If you're in France, I mean, at this point, the France diaspora is alive and living. So wherever if you're African based, cool. If you are France based, cool. If you're Caribbean based, cool. I think that gives you more options. And so with that, you're going to have more players who are willing to do that. And so now the battle will be less about can we make a World Cup playing for this country? It will be more so why not? Why not just say, hey, get us and the other guys and let's go back and do it because we will have the eyes. I mean, from a very ego driven point, if you are the generation that breaks the curse or breaks the drought for a country, you're hero. You're legends. Like you don't have to buy a beer there ever. So why not take upon the challenge of being the ones to do
ooh,
that?
nice save.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it I think it also removed a lot of the barriers for a lot of the he Comoros. Okay.
I said they're getting one. So we're they're getting one.
Hey, all right. But I think yeah, and with all of that money flowing now, and that all of it almost doesn't even matter which league you play in now. If you make your social media presence enough,
Mm,
people will know about you. Um, Now you see all of these countries, all of these players, a lot of the old players that you think of now are all starting academies back in their homeland.
mm.
They all there's the Arab Cup. I think the Arab
Yeah.
Cup has what is the reward is higher than what the AFCON is,
Wow.
and it's close to what the World Cup winners are going to get.
Mhm.
hmm
So the more and more these countries starting to play these tournaments, it will give them more funds. Um, they're starting to see that Morocco have made themselves the darling of African soccer. Previous years was Senegal, which I guess is still in. So now you're starting to see what we have 10, 12 African countries that actually are making noise around the world versus the staple, Nigeria, Cameroon, and those
Mhm.
that handful of guys. Now you have 10, 15 countries that
Yeah.
can make it.
Do you think there's a so right now, okay, if you think about it, right, all the years have before, they're playing for country pride, right? And that's the big driver. With all the money entering the conversation, do you think that changes any bit of the passion that's involved? Like, do you think, like, if you see now all of a sudden a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I want to come there now. There's all this money out there to get. Like, does that necessarily dilute what AFCON or any of these other tournaments are going to be about to you guys, or are you indifferent to that?
I,
I'm a I mean, for me, I'm a little bit indifferent to it just because if you look at I mean, find a worse combination, and I say this respectfully. Say find a worse combination than African federations and money. It's a worse combination. So the money, the money, to me, the more money is there. I'm
yeah,
waiting for at this point. If they add more money in 2 years, there'll be insert three countries are about to protest their training sessions for undue bonuses from the year 2017. Like it's gonna
Right.
happen. That's just what it is. So I am not. I don't think money will matter. I think it's opportunity. And it's
Mm,
again for any it'll be like picking your national team or picking a club. Which ones gives you the best opportunity to truly build your brand? We're in that era for all athletes. It's brand building.
yep.
And so
right.
does AFCON allow you to do that? Maybe, maybe not. We'll kind of see save on that PK. But so I think for players, the money will always impact. Some players don't care about the money. It's the pride. They'll say that, but the money is a principal aspect of it. So I don't want to get that confused with some people because we've had that where
Mhm.
it's players say, "Oh, we want to represent." It's like, okay, cool, but you need to pay us. But do it for the pride. Like it's been like Nigeria. It's like guys, we haven't been paid since there were teams. Like it's 20 now. Can we do something about this? So I think money won't affect it as much. It'll all come down for me. What's the pitch? The selling pitch that federations give to these players. What do these players see as their opportunity within these teams and these tournaments? And I think the timing of it will be interesting as well because ultimately the reason AFCON gets such a bad rap is because it's the most inconvenient tournament to European football,
Right.
right? Like you said, it's the most inconvenient one. And so changing it to every 4 years, does that fix everything? I don't think it fixes everything because still you're going to have that issue with players missing. Does
I'm
it make it
glad
more?
that
Yeah, go on.
no, sorry. I'm glad that that's not starting until 2028. That means you can still get the 2027 one, and then from there it's not, and then hopefully the nations thing would pop off. You were saying about growing the brand a moment ago, and that really sparked a thought in me. Um, have either of you downloaded the eFootball and like tried to set it up to play as one of the African nations? Because that was something that they've done right to grow the brand, was
Mhm.
make it so where these teams are playable. I'll admit I started to download it and set it up, but it was a lot of stuff. Like I got about a third in, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to come back to this another time when I can just focus on. I need to do it on something bigger than my phone at that point, like my
Mhm.
iPad or something. But I like that aspect of it.
Oh, Marco's going.
Yep. And I think once, I'm not sure if it's playable on what is it, FC 26,
Mm.
but could you imagine if it was?
It would certainly help it. I mean, no doubt about it. Would certainly help it. Um, I wonder again. It's all these little micro transactions, these micro deals that'll grow it more and
Hmm.
give it more of its face. And for a lot of people, it's just a lot easier just to focus on. Like we're in North America, it's easy to focus on the big three versus building the other six sports that exist here. And so I think the time the investment will look into it. I want to get into the play, but I haven't had the time as of yet. Just end of year for me has been busy, but I'm hoping to get into it in January and kind
Yeah.
of fiddle around with it and see what that'll do because I think it'll be curious. So I don't think it'll be the same as say playing like an FM manager, but I think it'll definitely spark a
Mhm.
lot more of that intrigue and more engagement with it. But then also having a 48 team World Cup where you're like, what is a curacao? Can we get a curacao? It's not the drink. Oh, they play soccer.
Right.
Good for them.
Because that brought me back to when we were watching the draw, the World Cup draw. I don't know if you guys got that,
I,
and some of the ways that the nations are being pronounced, like just, and they got to that one. I was like, oh, okay, like bartender, because it, everyone's like, oh, I know that word, I know the word. It's like, yeah,
As a
it's not correct
Canadian, I was
curacao.
just like, as a Canadian, I was like the one Canadian on stage just doesn't know how to. Come on,
Yeah, he was like, it was hilarious. I was like, okay,
poor
Wayne's not
guy.
had a good 2025. He's made choices, which we're all so proud of.
it
So,
was it was interesting that their assisting hosts were basically an ambassador for each of the big four. But you know what I mean? It took me a
oh
while to realize that, but that's how it was.
yeah, which I mean, I had my complaints on it at that point. I was like, could we just? You tell me we couldn't find three Mexican footballers, one Canadian soccer player, and just like whatever's left. Like, J- Jones is in the building. Just bring up Clint Dempsey. Just bring him up right now. Have him draw. I would appreciate this more, but that
There
was
was
Yeah,
their
plenty
job.
of them.
right. It
They
was
were
like basketball, football, baseball, and hockey. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
oh
yeah, and I guess not to go too far into that draw again,
yeah,
but we know there's many basketball players that are soccer fanatics
yeah, that's true.
and that have skills because I almost forget a lot of their names, but you see them when during warm ups. You see
yeah.
those guys juggle the ball, the basketball, doing
Hmm.
tricks. It's like if you want to tie soccer with the popular sport, um, do that. You got Chad Ochocinco. He's a former NFL player. He's also loves soccer. He's been all over. Put him in because he can
Right,
talk about it. I'm sure there's a basketball player that can. There's a lot of basketball. I'm sure one of them could talk about soccer. Like try to tie that connection together instead of just
right.
a name. I'm sure there's comedians, American comedians that know more about soccer. You know what? At this
Hmm.
point, bring Mamdani. For God's sake, he's mayor of New York. He talks
God.
soccer, even though he's a boo Arsenal fan. But at least he knows ball. You, the
Yeah,
U.S. is a
there's
huge country. You can find famous soccer fans. That's how.
there are definitely different matrices they could have went through to to have found their people.
Yeah.
Definitely on that. Um,
So how you guys? So what do you guys think so far about the game? Because it looks like there was almost an offside for Comoros, but um, it looks like mostly at this moment is Morocco. You know, most of the
really
stats
controlling.
are favoring Morocco.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
I'm like it's kind of how I expect it to be. I think Comoros is going to try to sit back, try to be opportunistic with their chances and get their goal and
Counters,
then
yeah.
defend from there.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm just on flash score like right now the XG is at 0.86 for Morocco and then 0 for Comoros at this point into the half, which hey, if you're going to judge a game based off 20 minutes off of analytics, by all means be that person. I won't be it, but
yeah.
just to kind of show like the dominance of how it is going. So I don't mind how this game is going for Morocco. I think they need to get a goal just to exhale because it's like yes, you're hosting, you're at home. You want to get that first goal so you can exhale, so you can play. The
Right.
longer this game goes 0-0, the more it feels like Comoros is going to try to steal it. But I mean, I feel good with my 3-1 right now. So
Hey,
feel
it's
feel great.
77, 78% possession for Morocco. I mean,
Yeah, they're
It's
not.
unexpected. Yeah,
Yeah, they're not over possessing. I mean, like, yeah, there's some good indirect play, some good possession here. I feel like Morocco's gonna get that first score,
Mhm.
but I also feel like Comoros is like, man, if we can just like it's inevitable. Like they kind of like, oh man, we just gotta hold them for like at least a
yeah.
half, maybe.
yeah, it looks
So
like there. It
they're
looks
playing
like there's
defense for
9 players on defense.
sure. Yeah, they're definitely playing to survive right now.
Yeah, all they have to do is be careful on not to be too aggressive.
Hmm.
True.
Yeah,
You don't want to have to defend with only 9 players. I do agree. Um,
Right.
that'll be a massacre. But looks like another
Okay.
cross.
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah, typically a team that defends that much for that long, it's going to something will leak after.
yeah,
Yeah.
the levee will eventually break, no doubt about it.
We have shades of blue over here watching,
What's
and
going on, Brandon?
yeah, and I'm sure I think they had a few Man City games, so I'm sure I saw the score. We won't celebrate too much, but congratulations! I think you 3-1 win is you're having a good day.
I don't want to bring my club into AFCON because I'm having such a great time right now. But
Depends on who your club is. I might be with you on that one. Who is your club?
Come on, say it.
all I have to say about my club is, what's a win? Haven't seen one in a year.
Hey man,
Oh boy.
Manchester United.
Wolves, just the
Oh,
wolves.
okay.
Of
Oh, yeah.
wolves.
Don't bring your club into this because
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Morocco's
it's good.
playing well right now. They're just
Yeah,
killing.
yeah.
They're just look at
Never
that
mind.
possession. Love
Ne-
it.
Never mind. The force is not with us.
Oh boy.
It's okay. I've been scouting Preston North End, so it's been good. I'm ready for the championship next year, guys. I'll tell you how it is. We'll
Okay.
talk next.
I am surrounded. Manchester United. I'm surrounded.
Yeah,
Man,
you are. I mean, usually it's 1 in 4 odds
Mm,
for finding another one, but in this
yeah.
case, neither one of you. So
Well,
uh,
we as long as we're not Arsenal, we're good.
the,
yeah,
the
it's
low
true.
Did
standards
I
of it.
just do that? But yes.
Little, yeah.
All right. So let's see how so far what the game looks like. What we expected, right?
Yeah.
Comoros is probably just waiting for that one counter, um, and they almost had it, I believe, in the 20th minute, but that was called offside. But other than that, I think that was the only time they were on Morocco's
Mhm.
half.
Right. Hmm.
That's true. I, as we're watching this question, because I'm doing this for the 7 teams that are going to the World Cup, are we watching this AFCON in the lens of just, hey, win this continental tournament? Or I'm looking at this as, okay, some of these teams get a early dry run, a trial run in terms of tournament football. Which players, especially the players who are bringing new players, who can handle the pressure, who can perform? And I think that'll go a long way. Are you guys kind of looking at AFCON in that way as well? Because for me, I'm looking at it with that for the 7 teams that are also in AFCON, but also going to the World Cup. Do you think that's going to play a factor at all, or you just think it's another continental tournament, but the World Cup happens to be coming later on next year?
I think that's a good question actually. I could say I was looking at it more for just the fullness of AFCON, like watching all of it, like just catching every single group the most that I can, just to
Mm-hmm.
get a good full flavor for how things are going uh, before it gets to the elimination rounds. But that take that you said, that question is good, because I probably would now specifically be trying to also kind of tie into those, so I can have a really good thought about, or a good scout on those 7 squads as well. So yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, and I think for me it's like all of the above. I think for me the first one is for the coaches, also for all the tactics, so
Mm-hmm.
that they can kind of iron out what player in what position and how deep they have them. Because like you just saw Morocco have one of their players come out of injury, so now that already takes something off your checklist as of like now how many players do we have that can back him up for the next tournament or this current tournament. The other one is for the players that are still on the are not guaranteed to play
Yeah,
at
the
the World
bubble
Cup.
players. Yeah.
This is the state.
Mhm.
This is the time to show your coach. I've done it for my club team. Now I'm going to do it for the AFCON, and I'm going to show you that I need to go at the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The other places
Wow.
that, you know, for me,
Hmm.
it's the current champ that will win this tournament will be the even though there's 7 countries that's going to the World Cup, the winner of this one will be, hey, you are also representing Africa because you're
Hmm.
the champ. So that means you
Right.
will be expected to go much further than the team that haven't. So there's the pressure. So it's you got to get win this one so you have the confidence to say we're going into the World Cup as the top African country.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Comoros is really disciplined in keeping their form. They've really been able to move together as a squad and keep those lines. And they were just showing the passes complete stat, 149 to 29, like that. Like that's a lot.
Mhm.
That's such a big difference in contrast in numbers there. And as we are watching this, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Like there is a lot of distribution from left to right. They are trying to find an opening, but they're just not finding it. And it's like at some point, do you just need to fire a shot and kind of hope and look for that second ball, look for that trash goal somewhere because I think they're trying to get it just right, and it's like, man, all of that distribution, and then literally Comoros could just step in and just take it the other way.
Mhm.
Too many passes lead to errors. But it looks
Right.
like for every time Morocco has the ball, there's 2 Comoros players on them. And if
Hmm.
you watch them shift, right, it's like their number 10 is still playing up top, but everybody else is in defense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think now the biggest question will be not when Morocco is going to score, is how long can they keep that up?
Well, it's a low block, so you're gonna need someone who can pick that lock with the pass here and
Right.
find whatever opportunity. And that's where, if I'm gonna single someone out, that's I'm looking at Diaz, Brahim Diaz. I'm like, sir, this is your time. This is where I need you to create. You don't have Hakimi on the pitch to add some more width and some more danger. That's a player that you need right now to put a little bit more on their responsibility and just go and create something for them because it's
He's
a
the
low
most
block. You know what
creative.
you're getting. So have spaces in between, dummy runs, make the defense have to move, and then find the space to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and maybe that's when Arba needs to step up because he's probably like the most
Ooh,
senior player too.
that was a laser.
Yeah,
Yep.
they fell asleep on that one.
If that's what the 150 some passes were for, then
No,
we're
I'm not
get we're
mad about
getting somewhere. We're getting
that.
somewhere. We're getting somewhere.
That is true. That is true.
Hey, welcome to African soccer. You can do your tiki taka as long as you want.
Here
That will
we
not break
tackle
the
and we
wall.
run.
I mean, I mean, honestly, that right there feels very relative to like a lot of the USL Championship soccer that I watch. Honestly,
Mm,
lots of passes and not as many scores.
yeah.
Yeah, they're waiting for that one creative, and and this is also like you mentioned the perfect test for Morocco to see how they can perform without Hakimi. Because right now he has carried the team so much that one injury is showing that look, maybe he was the key to most of their success. And that pretty much gives the blueprint to any other teams in this tournament, but at the World Cup, that now they have 6 months to prepare. That says, hey, let's watch the 7 African countries now that we're going to play against and see how they
Mhm.
play on the competitive game so
Right.
that we can prepare ourselves next. And
Well,
that's
yeah,
why
I mean,
all the
agreed.
yes, and that's where all the African countries are now playing against European and South American and North American teams because they want to understand how African teams are now playing.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. That's quality take. You have to mix it up. You have to play different competition. Gotta kind of get a different um idea for different flavors.
Oh, most certainly.
Let's see.
Mm.
All right, so So I think since we have a lot of people also on this chat and online, so looks like we have like three countries, continents. So now there's so I know Akwati is also a Ghanaian connection. So Chris, do you have any African connection that you know that gets you a little closer to the AFCON?
I don't know mine, and I was going to try, and because I had really talked to my grandmother who has a good like thought about how far back we go. But of course, I really only hear about I think the I would only hear probably about like just I guess how do I put it? I mean, I think the put it in fact. I think my grandmother just told me, well, fact of the matter, she told me like there probably is some
Right.
by way of historical premise, but I don't know exactly where. And like I said, when I was going to attempt to do one of those tests, I was
Oh,
kind of
those.
cautioned to not do that because of where
Yeah.
the results go to. And I didn't know that, obviously you know, I don't know, police get that stuff, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's still sketchy. We're
yeah, I didn't
yes.
know exactly where that information went. So
No,
honestly, I'm on one of those kicks where I kind of I've been working on something, but I just kind of call it New Heritage, where it's like,
so
it's
you're
it's something.
honorary West African. So we'll just put it that way.
There you go, there you go. Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
I,
I've been fooling around with this brand idea called New Heritage. It's like the idea is it's somewhere over there, and I don't know where, but it's you know I feel drawn.
That's not
yeah,
bad.
that's always
Right.
interesting to
Mhm.
me. I think that's one that I think a lot of us from the diaspora, where I guess we have our discussions, where how we call it, with our American friends, Black American friends, where
Hmm.
they always ask us, when like in a lot of the soccer, oh, that was close. Like, when they always mention France having looks more like Africa, or because of the players, and they're starting to ask, how do you relate to your maternal paternal country, or like me,
Hmm.
I'm 100% French, but I'm also Senegalese, but and I hold those two dearly together.
Mhm.
And in France, if you go, for example, in France, everybody will call themselves French.
Right.
But also, when the African part comes, you're dressed like one, you talk like one, your community is like it, but you still have that tie. So I think it's one of those interesting discussions that I like to have with my American friends, because it's like they're like, well, when
Are
it
there
comes
like
to soccer, it's always the funny part where it's like, well, they were born and raised in France. They played in French academy, but now they play for Morocco. It's like, yeah, but the connection is runs deep.
mm, I wonder sometimes if there are like certain kind of like facial features or things that can kind of almost kind of pinpoint like maybe of a people or like region that you can come
I
from.
I don't know about Kwasi, but usually you can tell. How we can tell sometimes is there's that one African joke where you can tell how someone dress. You could see like more. If you saw someone from Cameroon dress, you're like
Hmm.
Mhm.
stylish, or Zimbabwe when you see them like suits. I don't know how to describe it, but if you watch someone dress, you can almost can tell, maybe not the country specifically,
Yeah.
but the
Right.
region, aware, because
No, for sure.
the
No, that
style, the dance,
mhm.
it screams. Like
It does.
Congolese, I think, are probably some of the best African dressers.
See, once you get into those type of conversations, Mo, now we're arguing for things. Like,
No,
are
no.
you sure?
Well,
Listen,
I'm
the West Africa answers
how
the
I
chat
grew
is
up.
sir,
You
sir.
know, where I grew up, right? The
Yeah,
ones that you see is like you're like, ha, right? You're like,
it's it's definitely more of a thing. Like I can think back to like when I was in university, and I don't know how I did it. I just know that I did it. But I could any African I found, I was just like, "What's up? Sudan? Cool, yeah. Kenya? Cool, yeah. South Africa? Yeah, cool." I couldn't tell you how I could do it, but for a 2 year stretch, any African I saw, it was like, yeah, Gambia, cool. The only one is my best friend, because he had a fun time in schooling, and I was like, I don't know what you are. He's like Kenyan. I'm like, the accent throws everyone off. It's like I know, but it's a thing because he has a very posh, proper English accent, but he is Kenyan born and everything. He was the only one I couldn't figure out, but everyone else, you just kind of figure out. And then from there, I was just like, okay, yeah, we do the same thing. We talk about football. The amount of times where you're just randomly in like a bathroom, and then it's like, hey, why'd you guys do us like that at AFCON? And then they're like, oh man. And then there's just laughter bellowing. And then Nigerians come out of this. So I was like, hey, Ghana lost again. It's like, oh, at least we made a fight. And then, and then we're bantering, and it's all good times, and the good times were found. But yeah, just identifying was just a weird thing when I was in uni. I was just like, pam, pam, pam. You had them all.
You know, at the first AFCON that we watched, like back in 22,
Mm.
I remember like at the watch party that we did. We had one gentleman that was from South Africa and another one that was from Nigeria, and so like the two, like, so it was just funny because just like to see like their banter with each other, but
Yeah.
like to also see just their unity, because obviously they're both from Africa, and
Hmm.
so like to ultimately just see how they could have banter, but then they could, when it came down to like, diaspora versus like, anything else, they were just like fully unified. And I just thought
Oh,
that was really cool,
Oh yeah, dude. Yes, you.
because they were telling
I,
me about different regions kind of have kind of different like stances on each other, and I never really kind of considered that. I just thought it was all kind of, it could all be unified, but I mean, that was something I learned.
oh, it's always interesting in that sense because yeah, there will always be unifying things. I remember when I was a kid, when we were watching what was it, Nigeria win the gold at the Olympics. It was a great African moment for like again we have a house full of that of Ghanaians and we're like, look, Africa won the gold. We're happy for that.
Yeah.
Now I talk to my friends and it's very straight up like we support everyone, not you, but everyone you're good. But like once you get to the World Cup, like in AFCON, it's like, look, we don't look. I am waiting for Nigeria to lose because the brand apparently says I have to stay consistent with that. But like once you get to the World Cup, it's just like Ghana beats Panama, it doesn't matter. Africa won a game, or
Right.
Morocco could make the go, and then you go keep on going from there. So yeah, the continental pride will always be there, but once you get into regional competitions,
Hmm.
it's just like watching your team. Like I was talking to someone, Vancouver, the Whitecaps make the finals of the MLS Cup or MLS Cup, and like I have TFC fans who are just like, look, I won't lie, forget Canada, man, they ain't winning it, okay, not them. I was like, you know what, I respect your consistency. I do, sir.
oh yeah. Well, that's a whole another discussion of on this side of the pond where I guess there's many people that support the league,
Mm.
which sometimes is I guess not really used to that part, but yes, but I do feel just like the Toronto guys with Vancouver. It's like I don't care if you're in the final of the league, if I hope you lose.
We are consistent that way.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
hey, that's how it works. But it looks like we're still 42 minutes in, and Marco still has unlocked Comoros. So do you start to get maybe a lot of concerns from Morocco
For Morocco,
if
not
they get
yet.
into the half and they have not unlocked that defense yet?
It's a low block. They're not supposed to be easy to open. And
Right.
so I think for me, you start getting tight
Ooh,
once you get to 60, 65 minutes, right?
When they
That's
open
where
the
you start to
floodgate.
say, okay, that's where you start seeing things
man,
tight.
the lasers are out, huh?
Oh yeah, it's Morocco. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
lasers
Wow.
be lasering.
I didn't know that that was a thing. I mean, I heard about it kind of just recently about lasers, but I didn't know that that was like something that fans brought to the game.
Oh, it
But
was
it's
bad. I think I think the player that had it worse was Salah. The last
Yeah,
one, yeah, they weren't too kind to him.
why is that? Why has that become a thing now?
I think they just find another reason to a better way to distract players. If you remember the 2010, it was the Fufus. Realized that people were
Hmm.
not happy with, but that's a very
that's a
obvious
very
thing
niche.
that you
Yeah,
bring in.
Yeah, this is crazy. And is I was
Oh
just
boy, another
seeing
PK.
recently how lasers have been used in other things, right? Like I didn't realize it how how obstructing that could be. But like,
Mhm.
I guess that people do that like on airplanes, and I mean, like people are using that
Yeah.
stuff on aerial like transportation and stuff. And I was just like, whoa, like I just never thought lasers were, you just never looked into them, but I just realized that people were like, trending to like using that stuff. That's kind of
That's not a
that's,
PK.
yeah, that's kind of crap.
Listen, give it to
No, that guy,
them.
he
That's
fell.
no. He dove. He saw. I
Yeah,
forgot what number five was about to swing the ball, and then he pulled his knee out, but there was zero contact.
yeah, no, he definitely fell.
Yeah, that was zero contact. He just saw that leg swing. He was like, "Let me
Well,
just take that one out."
well,
Because he
everything is
doesn't even
bought
hit
at this
him.
point. Might as well. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's a penalty, but at this point, let's see what VAR
Oh, and that
says.
was a handball first.
Was it though?
But
Where
look,
Was it
though?
if you
though?
watch,
Wait,
yes,
they're gonna rewind it. They're gonna rewind it. They have to go back one more time.
he
Okay.
cannot.
All right, where are we seeing
Yep.
that?
My VAR says it was contact to the knee, direct non football play,
But
red.
look, see, my eyes can see. They call the handball first.
Oh yeah, there it is, right there. That
Mm.
better be what it is.
Yes,
It
they call
it
them handball first.
it better be. However, I'm going to watch this and say, what shall we discover in this mystery
There it
box so
is.
far?
Okay.
Hey, but what I have to say though, I think last tournament, we've talked about it, but not too many people um, mention it, is that the African referees last tournament have shown that they wiped the floor with most referees in the rest of the world. Because if you watched that tournament, there was not that many controversy on bad calls or questionable or flout missing things.
Hey, the lore of AFCON, I've read on some of this stuff. I didn't realize the some of the conspiracy between referees and teams playing in big impacting games, and how there's probably some handshake deals that have probably happened in the past. That's crazy.
Allegedly,
Right.
you always have to say
Allegedly,
allegedly,
right.
because we are not saying that here. But
Nope,
Right.
nope,
allegedly,
nope.
no, 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 no. Ghana's not it. I have nothing to lose. Ghana's
don't
not
don't
it.
don't
I have
don't mind
nothing to
me.
lose.
We as African we know stories, we have stories,
But
but
allegedly, but allegedly,
allegedly, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's Wikipedia, right?
Yes. And unfortunately now, and it's world football, so all these high stake, they're always those questionable ac- actions from people.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I have
It
to
makes
say,
it makes for good cinema.
yes. But trust me, I think I told someone before the fun part is that it's just like in South America and stuff. When you're a referee, you want to make sure that you do the best job and no one questions you because you know what might happen after.
Right. Well, everyone's gonna be like, where's he from?
And yeah, and I don't know if someone might be missing or something. Let's make sure that everything is kosher. And I don't know,
Mhm.
it's one of those things, right?
No,
Yeah.
most definitely. But those are the things where you're just like, yeah, well, those things happen. What can you do?
Oh, there it is. There it is. Look, there, they just needed one opportunity.
Yes, let's see what they can. Hey, Comoros
Oh,
have ballers. They can play soccer.
Oh, Again, I see Comoros. I don't have happy memories, so they're getting their one. They are getting their one. I just hope Morocco gets their three.
I think
Yeah, but
they just gotta hang out for 89 minutes. You know.
it takes only one chance. Oh wow. Okay. Did he forget who he was playing against? Bono's never gonna let you score like that
Oh
from
no,
that far. One of the best goalkeeper ever of African soil.
for sure. Good
After
old.
Edouard Mendy, though.
Listen,
Ooh.
you can keep your
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Senegalese
whoa!
bias.
I'm not. It's not bias. It's facts. It's nothing but facts.
You know, you guys did you guys win? You guys won AFCON. What was it? Was it 22 you won AFCON?
Sometime over in that time.
Yeah.
But guess what?
It was
He
well worth
also
it.
has. He's what the only African goalkeeper to win Champions League,
He might be.
and
We'll have to
also
look that
the
up.
the
Yeah.
only one to be called the best goalkeeper
Ooh.
of Europe at that time. And he won AFCON. Man, yes,
It was a nice run for him, no
can't
doubt.
touch him.
I mean, he's
Mm.
touchable, but I mean, it was a nice
Hey,
run.
hey, hey,
Whoa!
the
Quite the miss
stats,
there.
the stats, no.
Mm.
So the Simoleans are having a not so good time. They were
Mm.
celebrating at time. Now there's more stress than anything else.
Well,
Because
again, like the longer this game goes in 0-0, they're gonna be at the half. They'll be like, okay, no, okay, you know what? They were defending well. Once you get to 60, 65 minutes, that's when you start to see like everything get tight. That's when some center back will just dribble the ball one line into one step past half line and then just boot it just because why not? And then then people looking like, what are you doing? Like, build up, please.
Mm.
hopefully Comoros does not have to switch goalkeepers. But what was it ball possession? 79-21.
Mm.
And total shots 7 for Morocco, 1
Got
for
got
Comoros.
the magic spray out.
Yep.
Did he? The last thing they need is to switch. Oh, there's our Moroccan friend that
Oh,
last year was popular. He's across the. You see, I'm telling you, so far every time that camera span in the stands, the camera went on him so far.
Hey,
man, is it
cameraman
Look,
didn't have
there you
their
go.
spot.
man? Is this feed just blinking? Am I? It must be just me.
No,
'Cause-
it was blinking a little bit.
okay. I was like, what is going on here?
Yes. Well,
Oh, look, if that new keeper comes in, the whole game could be like, everything could just be like,
he will
could
be
just
cold.
change at
Yeah.
that point.
I saw Comoros beat Ghana with a center back playing as a goalkeeper. I've
What?
seen it all. Okay.
Oh my gosh, it looks
I
like
d-
you're
of course I'm not over it.
easy.
Of course I'm not over it.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw that one. It was
Oh boy.
there was something that happened with the keeper, right? They didn't have.
Yeah. The keeper had what was it, a COVID thing, so he couldn't play. And
That's right.
so they had lost. Like the other keeper had two reds or two yellows, so they couldn't play. And then so they played a center back. And imagine you say Ghana versus a team with a center back in goal, and I'm like, oh well,
I can use my hands. What?
we can do it. And like, and he played goalkeeper like a defender. He was just like, listen, I'm taking this off the chest and the knees, nothing. My hands for what?
Right.
That's why the goalkeeper. I remember
Oh,
that. So yeah, I see
Oh
Comoros.
boy.
I'm like, look, they need to lose. I don't like them.
there's a lot of stoppage time.
Oh
That
boy.
is something I'm curious
5
about
minutes.
because like last World Cup we saw them give like proper stoppage time, which confused everyone. Was like, what do you mean 17 minutes of additional time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Oh,
in the qualifier with Gabon, it was like almost it was like a whole like what 15 minutes
yeah.
that's madness.
Don't
of
waste
stoppage
time.
time. It was practically like half of added.
You, hey,
You
hey.
know.
As someone who has famously said, "I want my 15." Listen, I want my 15. So if you rolling on that pitch, guess what? I want my 15.
Yeah, they using those new procedures in Afcon too, like just like for any sort of descent like to like like 2 minutes if you're like hitting the pitch,
I don't
I'm
think
not
so.
sure actually.
kind of keep them from from embellishing a little bit if it's not
Mm,
legit.
It's African football. Usually, if you're on the ground rolling, you most likely get a few studs somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah, they,
can't
they,
walk
they
that
will
off.
make you pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh, but hey, it looks like Nationaros just mentioned that Morocco is the best one and they're the king. So sounds
Mm,
like you're a Morocco fan. Um, but it looks like we just hit halftime.
right.
So if you guys were to grade the performance of first Morocco, what would that grade look like? A, B, C,
Okay,
D.
Go ahead.
I'd say like a B minus. Um, I know you give me permission to use pluses or minuses or things, but you know me.
You always start stuff. Go ahead.
I think it's like a 62%, roughly like the penalty miss sucks for them, and that's
That's
where it's like
that's a D.
rough. Yeah, well, depending
Okay.
on where you're from,
I'll
but
get
like,
your
Oh,
math straight. Come on.
hey, I used to be good with the numbers. Okay, I was great with the numbers. But
Used
like,
to.
yeah, I think Morocco's playing a game where look, you're trying to beat a team that is not going to let you play in your full pitch. You knew that coming in. And so you're looking at your Amrabats, you're looking at your Brahim Diaz who are saying, "Hey, we need you guys to we need you to create some of those openings." And they haven't been able to do it as of yet. I think there's too much talent on this side for this to be a nil-nil draw. Even if they get the 1-0 draw and say, "Okay, we just played a team that defended us,
right.
maybe we need to open up in the next game." But I think for how the game has gone, a B minus I think is fair. Though it's trending down versus like a B. It's not B minus with a bullet. It's
Mhm.
B minus where it's sinking. So I think right now B minus for Morocco is where I would put them, just because the penalty miss sucks, but overall their chance creation hasn't fully been there for me. So B minus for me.
All right,
You know,
great.
for me, I've got to go with like I think it's a C plus. Like okay, I mean they're doing the assignment right. They're obviously keeping it in their attacking half,
Mm,
and you know it's just there's so much indirect play, so much over rotation for me, and I think that that's why I'm docking them because I mean there's such a contrast in the number of passes. Like it needs to be like we need to play direct at a little bit more than they are.
mm,
So to me, I just I think C plus. I think, and then of course missing a couple penalties, like you gotta tack that stuff in there too, just for some added effect. I mean, because they're playing on a low block, yes, but they got to find a way to draw them out, and they haven't figured that much of it out, other than a few times where they've gotten lucky off the jump.
mm.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'll give him a C. 7 shots on goal, second shots and one on target. That's
Hmm.
a bad look. Um, I would have expected him to have a lot more shots, knowing that um, with a low block, your chances now that means you have to take more shots outside the box
Right.
to see what's going to happen. It rained, so that means goalkeeper gloves
Mm.
are wet. The ground is wet. The best way to attack a low block is to take shots on
Right, because you got
expected
to create
shots.
second chances.
Yes. So that's the grade I'm giving them on that part. Other than that, maybe they're starting to get a little bit exposed on what Hakimi means to the team when he's playing versus when he isn't. Because there's not much creativity from this half at this moment.
Yeah,
So
I mean, what do you think's going on in the locker room for Comoros? What do you think? What do you think Gaffer's saying there?
do the
Hmm.
exact same thing.
They'll have to sub eventually, and then we'll
Yeah.
have them.
They got no one on their bench. Pause. But no, I think for them, if you're Morocco, like you said, keep them frustrated. you don't want to start taking your chances yet. But I think like if you can keep it 0-0 till the 65th or the 60th minute, then you start kind of testing, start just sending a few warning shots from there because they can get it done in a quick transition. But it's just the type of game that it feels it feels inevitable. But this is AFCON, which means
Hmm.
so it's going to be 1-0 Comoros, right? It's inevitable, right? Morocco looks like the better team for 90% of it. So in the 10% that they're not, they will get the goal and they'll win the game. That is AFCON in its entirety. And my predictions will fall because I didn't listen to my logic. I went with my agenda.
And
So
then after that, it's gonna be a center back that's gonna score, and then
yeah,
and
it'll be a center back arriving late on the rush.
yeah,
Question mark? Question mark? But yeah, oh,
Yeah.
this I don't think Brahim Diaz is used to playing in football with this energy at Madrid. Physicality has never been his ministry. True, and in African football, physicality is
Wow.
we tackle and we run. Like not to overly simplify it, but we're tough to break down. We, my best friend would always say it this way: in African football, no one's going for your move, not because they don't believe in you; they're just not moving.
Mm.
So however around the world, however many chop blocks you want to give, look, they're not moving. Not because they don't believe you, they're just not moving. So you just have to kick it by them and run past, and that's the game that they know. So for Diaz, yeah, he needs a little bit more. That maybe you need to find him in some space for him to do a little bit more. But for them, I think I need more from Ibrahim in this second half to
Mm.
really push up so that, as again, Morocco's a talented side, but again, talent doesn't win you. The cohesion and the strategy being executed does. So for Comoros, they're doing what they wanted to do, and I think now get it another 10 minutes or so, another 15, and then start sending warning shots to see if you can steal 3 points versus just one.
yeah. And the interesting part that you mentioned, bro, with like the physicality, um, Comoros is not a physical team.
Mm.
They've played their defense well, but that's why we always have those jokes way back where Cameroon was wearing those extra tight jerseys to show how
Mm.
strong they were, not having a neck or anything. That's what African football is, right? You one move, right? You can dribble, do a Ronaldinho move once, but I can guarantee you your next move is not going to be a fancy one
Mm.
because you will be picking up, you know, your jaw off of the pitch.
I'm really
So
interested in what I'm really interested in what Morocco sets up in when they're in it. You know, when they're having to defend for a period of time against Comoros. I'll be interested to see like what their strategy is.
I think Comoros at this time is just do the exact same thing you're doing. Um, your number
Mm.
10 looks like he's dropping back a little bit to help in defense. But other than that, I think his job is just to wait for that one ball
Yeah,
and one opening and make both pay for it. But other than that,
but do you think Morocco sets up in a low block too? Like I doubt they do.
no, no, no. Morocco is they're always moving forward. I think for Morocco, they're more willing to allow more goals as long as they score more.
Right.
I think that's the way they play their game. Um, Now the only question is pretty much what Comoros will give them. But
Right.
they go ahead.
No, no, I was just agreeing with you. I think that if Comoros puts a goal on them first, chances are you're gonna see like a very quick counter. Like it's, I mean, well, I guess not. No, I guess not in that sense, but I guess nah, that's not what I meant. I think what I mean is like the next 2 minutes, right, is going to be pretty lethal. I think that Comoros will probably let off a little steam, and that'll be a chance for Morocco to strike. I think I think this is what we'd see. But I think if Comoros gets that far in and they're attacking, I don't know what their reaction time is like as far as if Morocco can just put it out front, you know?
Mm.
Oh, that's gonna be an interesting one. If they go to the races, and it will be even more interesting if Comoros finds a way to. score one.
Yeah,
Um,
we've seen a little bit of that, but
the place, the whole continent will erupt. One. Um, uh, and
the
that will be a
lasers.
great introduction for a lot of people to African soccer if Comoros is able to do it.
If
Um,
somehow the underdog gets
yes,
yeah, exactly.
because
It'd be
now
crazy.
like Africa said, the unity of like Morocco being the African blueprint right now, as in AFCON, has been thrown in the trash or pretty much recycle. We'll say we'll pick it up after the tournament is over.
Well, it's interesting for like it's Morocco's a side locally who like even if you look at their last AFCON, like they did not perform up to what we think they
No.
should have. And it's something I always say with tournaments like this, right? Your neighbors know your schedules, but your guests don't. Like I think African teams and like a lot of different other teams will go to a world stage and look amazing because maybe it's the lack of respect or maybe it's just we don't know what to expect from this team. But like a Morocco will look good and you'll say, "Oh, well, look, they'll dominate. They'll dominate Africa." Then once you get to Africa, it's like, no, 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 no. This is how we play here, and you can do all that over there, but here, mm-mm. We know when you take out the trash. So we'll be sitting here waiting for that and do it. And I think that's where it gets very intriguing, where we may look at a team and say, "Hey, why are they struggling here?" But then you put them in a World Cup stage, and then it's a different animal because it's not the same type of teams who play you in and out. That's why even if you look at I have this. I don't want to call them this because I don't think that's fair to them yet because they haven't won anything yet. Like I think Canada might fall into that category where it's a against other teams, against other federations, they'll do great because hey, but once you're in CONCACAF and people know how you want to play, they say, yeah, we're going to take away your ability to do that. So you'll have to beat us another way. Then they struggle, they don't look as good, and I think that'll be a thing that'll affect them. But Morocco, that's how I'm looking at them right now. Like my head, the heart is I need Morocco to win all these, but in these tournaments, teams know what you do well, and they say we're gonna do our best to take that way, beat us another way, and we'll see if they can do it. So for Morocco, let's see if they can adjust to someone not letting them be the darling, the as I say, the golden child of the African family. Morocco just got another A. Morocco just came home and won the U20s for men. Morocco just hosts the women's WAFCON. Why can't you be more like Morocco? And everyone's just like, eh, I'll show you a Morocco. So I think that'll be interesting to see kind of how they're able to adjust with that pressure because some teams have done it, right? The Senegals have were able to do it for a bit. Algeria were able to do it, but you've never really ever seen it match on both the continental stage, but then also the international stage. Like when Egypt was winning all the Afcons, they weren't making World Cups. That's the reality,
Yeah.
right? When Cote d'Ivoire had their best generation ever, it was they'd have nice runs at AFCON, get to the World Cup, always the group of death, right? When Ghana was in its good form, they'd have some good teams, like they had the World Cup teams, but then also at AFCON they couldn't get it over the line, but that was a little bit more balanced within there. So we'll see if Morocco is a team that can finally do it on both stages. But hey, it's not as if Senegal, the reigning champions, Cote d'Ivoire, it's not like those teams aren't just around here being like, yeah, of course, Morocco, you can go win this too. We did it
Mm-mm.
once. We're happy with it. They'll put up a fight.
All right, Comoros is showing them that yes, you're at home, you're the favorite, you've been talked about, but still 0-0.
Hmm.
And
hmm
now a lot of the other teams that will be playing them in the group stage and maybe later on, now they're starting, their pens are moving because a lot of them that maybe don't have the players status of what Morocco has,
Hmm.
now they see that as long as Hakimi is not there, maybe the creativity is not there. So a low block is our option in counters. And there's a few African countries that you do not want them to counter because they have the speed and the strength to punish you fairly
Yeah.
quickly.
Hey, we tackle and we run. the most basic breakdown of the most uneducated African football. We're good tacklers and we run fast, big, fast, and strong. I hate
Hey,
those terminologies so
do
much. But
do people care if you win the AFCON?
are you asking me if people care, or if you
No,
ask?
like you kick and you run, you win
Mhm.
the trophy.
Oh
Everybody
yeah, in that
forgets
case,
how
yeah.
you kicked and run. All right, so guys, so since we are on a quick break, so this is your time to let the good people know where they can find your content, where they can connect with you. Um, Chris, we're going to start with you. So where on social media and others that people can um, follow you?
Yeah, on Instagram and on X, you can find me under the handle by Chris Walker as far as my own takes, and of course for Black Diamonds, you can find us at Black Diamonds NM on X as well as on Instagram, and we're also on Blue Sky as well at Black Diamonds NM B Sky dot B Sky dot social or wherever So we're on those platforms. As far as the podcast, you can find the podcast for the State of United on Spotify and Apple under the Seek and Strike Network. That is our network. We also cover women's college soccer, specifically in New Mexico, under a different show called the Enchanted 11. So yeah, we've
Mhm.
got some different content out there, and we're also on Patreon if you like that. We do a little extra content there, so we get a little busy that way as well.
Absolutely.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
I think across the African FC, people
Yeah,
know you, so just
do
give them
they?
a quick run on where they can find you.
Basically, Africans FC on everything. 3 A's on the Africans because we wouldn't be Canadians if we didn't cover African and Canadian football. So we do both.
Nice.
So you find us there, YouTube, Blue Sky, Twitter, because I just refuse. I refuse to. So
Such a
find us on
no.
Twitter there, Instagram as well. Podcast is there. A lot of it more recently has been just some of our YouTube put online, but we do have podcast specific stuff coming up. Because of its end of year, we usually do our end of year Canada, CanMNT, CanWNT recaps. The WNT was recorded. I think it's going up tomorrow on podcast. And then just because AFCON is happening, it's gonna be interspersed between African football. You're gonna see me talking about Canadian women and be like, why is he talking about women during this? Because I cover both. Because I
Yes.
cover both people. So that'll be there, and then our other year in reviews will be there. But yeah, so basically, Africans FC on all platforms is where you can find us. Yeah, and trying to get the 2026 subscribes on all platforms before 2026 starts. So if you haven't yet, if I haven't offended Nigeria for you or another country for you, please, I beg of you, just give me a thing. But no, I appreciate the banter and everything. But yeah, that's where you can find me for the most part.
I remember
Excellent.
I followed you guys about a year,
Hmm.
maybe about 2 years ago. Actually, I remember I actually like I think I left a comment on one of your episodes.
I saw that and I was just like, is this? It is Chris. Hello, good sir.
But the
Yeah,
question is, you saw the comment, but did you reply to it?
I'm notoriously bad for not replying to
Oh,
comments.
you
Like
such a
I am
star! Oh
notorious.
my goodness!
I'm
Look at
just,
that. He's
I'm
so
I
not
think
really
popular. He does not
famous.
even respond to his
I'm
follow
not really
guys.
famous, guys. I'm
I
not
think
Oh,
famous.
there was a reply because I
oh,
think because I think that the
I will look at it
content
right
was
now.
the content was very quality. I remember that it was the first time I heard it, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I forgot exactly what I said, but I do remember that it was one of the things I did jump on. I think, yeah, I think to you guys are surprised. You were like, oh, that's cool.
there
Yeah.
you go.
It's the content covering is always interesting because you can always someone will always be happy and then you'll always just piss off someone else. Like what did I say? I just said both teams could do well. It's just like you know what? Fine. I'll be more one sided. Canada to the world. Fine. Are you happy? Are you happy now?
You
Get the
said both
goal.
sides. People don't
Yeah,
want to be on both
I
sides.
know.
Right.
People don't
Hey,
want to be balanced.
What are you guys thinking about the ball, real quick? I mean, and Mo, you got to still. I mean, I know this is your show, and everyone knows
No,
where to
no,
find you.
it's our. This is African
Ooh.
soccer, all unity.
Oh,
It's
ours.
ours.
Okay, I'd
Well,
like
I think
royalties on this then, please. Can I
I
have some
definitely
royalties
think you
on this?
should definitely flood the airwaves with where everyone can find all of your stuff, and then we'll talk about that ball afterwards.
Yes.
Oh yes. Oh, Mo football everywhere, from African soccer to European and grassroots. 2026, I will be pushing a lot more to grassroots because I think that's what we're missing out in
Mm,
not only North America. I think because I
Hmm.
grew up in France, a little bit of Canada, Saudi Arabia, and trickled all over the place. And the biggest thing that saw is that we think of America for three other sports, but there's a lot more soccer players here than we
mm,
have in Europe put together. It's just that they don't have the opportunity, the eyes, or the U.S. Federation not doing proper work to bring the right people to soccer.
mm.
But yes, I think that's pretty much the way I saw it.
Okay.
I'm a dad, soccer dad, so I see both sides, and I'm also a soccer coach. So, at this point, the U.S. could be a major powerhouse, but the power that be can are not doing their job right.
Okay.
And
So what about Itri, guys? What are you guys thinking about Itri, the ball?
I'm gonna find a way to get one.
Same.
Yeah, I always would like to get one of those, but I mean,
That's
it's
not.
kind of a couple of $100, right? Usually.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about like one from there. I,
Mm,
I'm trying to play my cards right.
okay.
Okay. Well, when you play those cards, put down three.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I could think that I would definitely find
Oh.
a stand for that because
No,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that was a good point, right? I think one of the things with that ball that's different is not that cookie cutter soccer balls where it's the patch that has colors, or it's
hmm
like a one linear line, and then the design. This looks very Moroccan soccer
Yeah.
ball,
mm,
and I also like the whole UX. The designs of things. If you watch the way, like the colors of the stadium, the color of the soccer ball, the color of the mascot, it all ties to like Moroccan African soccer.
Yeah.
yeah. The
And
artwork for this tournament is really nice. I mean, I do love obviously the use of all the Adinkra symbols.
Mm.
I always love that. I just really love the colors and the graphics and just how creative they were about kind of creating their own rendition of like the trophy, like in the artwork. It was just really neat.
people are gonna go berserk for anyone that has not traveled like to Spain, Morocco part. Once that World Cup that they will be hosting,
Yeah.
people's going to see a whole different side of the world that they've never thought of. Because they will see that part of Spain if you go in there, the influence of
hmm
Moroccan um, and South Sahara, Africa in
Mhm.
Spain. It's ridiculous.
Hey, do you know if I think it I think Sphinx is the equivalent of Panini. Do you know if they did a an AFCON book with the little stickers like they did for previous ones?
That's a good
I
question.
don't know actually.
Oh. That's a good question.
I think I managed to get some for the last one. Maybe I got like I think the book and then some stickers. I had ordered it, and I think a gentleman in Egypt sent it here, and
Nice.
it was really cool to get that. But I'd also been ordering the patches too for a lot of these teams. I have about 12 patches from 12 different countries right now.
Yeah, we collector right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all of them.
And I think so. It looks like AFCON is doing their job, trying to kind of promote what African soccer
Yeah.
is like.
Yeah,
Um,
back to that conversation about growing the brand.
The
that's
the
all.
uh the diaspora tour they did with it. I know it was just up
Oh,
in like Europe for it, but even
Yeah.
that did so much for it because even like you see content creators that you're like, oh, I know. You see like all of them coming is like, okay, that's how you grow it. That's a good
Hmm.
way to use it there without going, I would say, so far into it where you're just like, hey, let's just get this person because they have a million. Like, no, get the people who are actually going to bump it, the people who are actually going to ride with it, and those are the people. When you see them do that, it's like, okay, good. Your social team knows what they're doing. I respect you. Okay,
Oh, whoa. Yeah.
oh yeah.
If yeah, that was a nice shot. Like a nice chance. If CAF could like touch down in the US during the World Cup and like basically set up that display, that'd be sick. Like,
Oh, they're
if they could
coming.
do that.
Oh, they're coming.
uh, sorry. And where will they go exactly?
Uh,
I
probably
mean,
Canada.
I'm not
right.
trying to.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
You're
poke
right.
things. But I'm like, where are
Probably
they
No,
going
no,
to
you're
go?
Canada.
right. You're
Mexico,
right.
Toronto.
Canada
You're
or
right.
Mexico.
Hey, they can come to New Mexico because we're a sanctuary state.
Uh, I because well, if they keep going this way, start banning all the countries that actually might do something. Maybe Canada and
That's how
Mexico might.
America wins. That's how they win
It,
the
Yeah.
World Cup. No one came to play.
it kind of sound like it, or that the price of the tickets are so high that they're like, you know what? Maybe we'll just prevent fans from coming, so we'll have more tickets for us, so we can
Right.
send it. I think that's what they're doing, but I
Have
guess we
Yeah,
won't
because I
wait.
choice.
mean, those $60,
60 my
diehard
God.
supporter fans tickets. I wonder how those are going. I
Well,
think I read somewhere they were looking for anyone who could go there.
Yeah, and I
well,
think what they
yeah.
do is from the federations.
Hmm.
For those, if you're traveled, a lot of those $60 is those that travel from their home countries, and a lot of those tickets also go to, like, those huge groups that the supporter sections or
Yeah.
the supporter.
Hmm.
Usually, they're the one that getting those very cheap tickets because they're buying hundreds of tickets.
Yeah. Well, that's
Oh
like
yeah.
massive respect for the supporters in that regard.
Yes.
That was another thing I was going to ask too is because I haven't really seen it as much, but like how obviously here and in North America, like supporters culture is huge as far as like supporter groups, right? But like,
Yeah.
what does that look like when it comes to African football? Like, are there those groups, or is there not that sort of dynamic?
Mo, you can take this.
Um, the the start of the Club World Cup, what you saw in the US, the Club World Cup, right? Where you
Yeah,
had a small groups that was supporting their club, took over New York and everything, right?
right.
So now you can just multiply that by 1,000, and I'm
Okay.
being very nice on that. Those groups, we're talking hundreds of thousands of people that will take a whole charter plane
Wow.
with just their fans. Um, those supporters will take over multiple sections of a stadium, not just their
Behind the
designated
goal, right? Yeah.
parts. Um, they're in a whole other beast.
Okay. So it's
And
not really like a subset like what we do
no,
here. It's like it's huge, right? It's
no,
like
those are
everyone's kind of got that.
presidents, charters, groups.
Mhm.
They, a lot of them have people within the federation that they work with the federation. Oh, there's the
1-0.
unlocked it. And is it who we thought had to step up for it? Ibrahim did his thing.
I think I'm still waiting for it.
Oh, sorry, we just killed you.
No, you're good. You're
So
good.
So
It's
who's
all
well,
good.
early?
yeah.
So I'm at 55.
I pulled it up and I finally got my stream went down for a bit, so then I
Yeah,
got it
Mm,
back up and they just go. I'm like, well, you're welcome, Morocco. So we got our
because your stream was down.
that's hilarious.
yeah 55th minute. Brahim Díaz.
So the
Like,
person they were all were waiting for.
but hey, I mean, that's what you want. And now with the game opening a bit more, now this allows Morocco to be a little bit more.
Oh, I don't know. Are they going to VAR? Probably gonna have to check that one first.
No, they
No,
listen, really. And at this point, no, they getting that Moroccan three. Okay, they're giving that Moroccan
I,
three.
they might. Well, I think every goal has to be checked anyway. So,
It
but
was checked, and it is good.
they're not gonna take that one away, huh?
No, I'm from the future. It's a good goal.
So,
Okay,
someone
that
must.
was lethal. That was lethal.
So they fell asleep pretty much,
Yep.
Hmm.
and that's why.
All those
Well,
basic passes
yeah,
just
you
keep
call
on.
56, but yours was just your 6 and 5 was reversed. It was that.
Mhm. Now Morocco looking a little bit more lively. Cross coming in,
But
but
now
goal
Morocco
taken.
has to be careful, right? So this is the
Oh, of
moment
course.
where you don't think you've too much of yourself, and then after that, you know, you're still celebrating when the other team is coming.
Yes.
So it can definitely go both ways.
I don't know if you're the fans. If you're Morocco fans, though, you're like, is this underwhelming? I mean, the first goals finally come like 5 minutes into or 10 minutes into the second half. I mean, are you like, you
Now they
kind
want
of
another one.
I don't think it's underwhelming for them because you're playing a team that is again they are set up specifically. You're not going to play you straight up. They're going to say no. We think we can. We don't think you can beat us breaking this down like this. So is it
right?
frustrating for all the possession they've had? Yes, but I don't think it's underwhelming. It's a
Okay,
low block. A low block isn't meant to be easy to break, and
Yeah, but
so
now it looks like Morocco's doing
it's,
a high press now.
they're
they have,
trying to get number two so that you
Yeah,
can open the game,
which
and then they can
yeah.
sit back and say, "Can we do the thing that we like to do? Counter you to death."
yeah, but then now the question is if they're doing the high press, which they were
Mm,
just doing on the right side, are they now opening themselves for a counter?
Possibly.
right. I do like the fact that Morocco went ahead and got that score because that low block is done, right? I mean, you can't sit in that any longer now. I mean, now we got to actually play. Now I'm really interested to see what Comoros is going to do.
All right, now Comoros wants to
I'm
keep the
sorry,
score
you
as
don't.
low as possible.
Wha- One
Oh,
moment. Oh my
oh
goodness,
no!
Comoros.
A little that grass is a little long there. That's all.
Yeah, but Morocco almost gave it a right back there. But you guys will see in a minute. Bad handling on the side. 1v1. Bruno makes the
I see
save,
it. Well,
but
for a
the
little bit.
game is starting to feel a little bit live. But now we're back to Comoros sitting back.
You
Mm,
see, but that's the that's the lack of experience right there.
Hmm.
Because you saw how he did 1,500 step over, right? There's
Yep,
someone to his left. That's an easy tap in, but
agreed.
his eyes got wide open, and he's like, "I want to go for it."
Hmm.
And it's Bono. He's not gonna give you a free one.
ooh, three dudes on one guy.
You
It's
could have let
crazy.
him. That would have been an easy tap in goal.
So the ball stays in. That's crazy.
Yep,
Uh oh.
yep, yep. Comments.
He's
Ah,
gonna he's gonna he's gonna hate himself for that one.
Oh, you have to.
He could
You
have
yes.
been an
1v1
easy
with a
tap
keeper,
in.
you got to finish that.
Hey, but
Or
you know
I'm sorry,
what
you at least
though?
have to put it, make the goalie make a save, which he does. But you needed a better shot than
Yeah,
that.
that was straight on
They
Bono though. Yeah.
they stopped playing that ball because they thought it was going out, and
Yep.
it stayed in. That's crazy.
Yeah, so now so Como's think their goal now is to keep it as low as possible because they
Mm,
want a flurry now to happen, or else their first tournament could end very quickly.
right. Yeah.
All right, so it looks like
Well, Comoros was in the last one too.
they make enough noise.
Their
Uh,
last their last entry their the last AFCON the Comoros was in definitely was like short lived.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh, that should have been on. That should have been a better shot than that.
All right, so 19 crosses to none. So like we
That is a stat.
we know what Morocco is on. We know what time they're on, right?
Mhm.
Oh, man. Oh, that's so sloppy. All right, so
Well,
so far, so how are we feeling about the very first game? Is that a good introduction to the regular folks that don't usually watch AFCON? Do you think that's what they should be expecting?
Well, the
mm,
yes, just yes.
yeah,
Yes.
you
Okay.
can go with that. You can, yeah, that's a good, collectively good answer.
But do you think does it match the what AFCON is like, or this is just because
It's
it's
the
the first?
first game.
Yeah,
Well,
it's the first one.
usually people watch the first game and then they're determined if they're gonna watch the rest of the tournament.
Right. They're like, one goal.
Yeah.
This is like most games I watch here in the States. I mean, maybe like I mean, based on the group, like this is the best game, like in that group.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I think so. Anyways,
Oh, got a few guys going in.
I mean, they got what Zambia and Mali in that group. It's.
Yeah.
Interesting fact here, though, right? Like, I have an interesting fact for both of you. So, Lusaka, Zambia, is actually a sister city to Albuquerque.
Huh?
Yeah,
That is a random fact.
it
I
is.
was not aware of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's a sister city. I was reading up on it a little bit during the break because I saw it like about a couple weeks ago, and because I was like, hey, that eagle on the flag. Oh wait, I know that flag. And so yeah, it's because of the community work that's being done in Albuquerque, and so that
Oh,
was basically it's one of the first. It says Albuquerque became sister cities with Lusaka, Zambia, through efforts led by local community leaders and the Albuquerque Sister Cities Foundation, formalizing the bond with an MOU in 2014 and a full agreement in 2015, establishing a partnership focused on cultural, educational, and economic exchange with Zambia being Albuquerque's
yeah.
first African sister city. So yeah, it's pretty sick. But I just had to throw it out there because I was thinking about this group.
I like it. That's you you don't typically hear these stories until someone finds it. So
Yeah,
you see, so people, so you've watched African soccer and you also learn history and connection. So you welcome.
right. And hey, look, your city may have a sister city that's in Africa too. Whoever's out there watching or listening, check it out.
Tune
If
in
you see it
next
in your
year
airport.
for taxing. How to file your taxes next week on African guys watching African football.
Don't put too much pressure on us because then after that we're gonna have to do it.
So you want to
Yeah.
take your C4 file and then you want to file that in. No.
Well, then
That's too
then
funny.
the question comes: you were talking about Canadian taxes, then we have
Hmm.
U.S. taxes, so
Oh yeah. There you
it's gonna be a long show.
go.
We need eight
Yeah.
super chats. We need 8 super chats for this.
It's gonna be
Oh
a
gosh.
long
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, that's for
Oh
sure.
man.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah,
right, so we
Comoros is looking. They're still looking comfortable on the ball, but
Yeah.
a little bit dicey, but not too dicey.
Mhm.
But yeah, Morocco is just doing their thing at this point. So
we're just waiting to see that one
nice pass,
spark from Comoros to make something
nice
happen.
turn.
I
What are
think
you
they got
doing?
one in them. I think they
I,
have one goal in them.
Oh, Comoros has a goal in them.
Yeah.
It's will Morocco only have one?
Mm. Yeah, it's a good ponder there.
all right, so while we're waiting for the ball to be thrown in, so it looks like there's 2 games tomorrow
Mm.
happening: Mali, Zambia, and South Africa and Angola. How are we
Okay.
feeling about those two?
Hey, I'm looking forward to the
Oh, and
Angola game.
Egypt and Zimbabwe. Ooh, I'm just man,
Mm,
production at work is going to be horrendous.
I'm low key a Mabalulu fan, so
yeah, okay.
yeah, I'm waiting for him to score so he can do his trademark lion roar.
Yeah. Oh, the
So
one he's walking on fours. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he goes for the slide and then he like ends up just like doing the crawl. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah,
I'm sure Caffey's waiting for that too, so they can capture it and put it all over. But
yeah, yeah, it's his thing. But
yeah,
yeah, so Angola, like that kind of. So I'm looking forward to that one.
yeah, and Zimbabwe. So I think so. What all eyes will be on Mali, South Africa, and Egypt. I guess.
I think South
Hmm.
Africa is from the CONCACAF standpoint. South Africa is interesting because South Africa has Mexico, and I mean,
Mm.
I've just looked over the fence to see what's going on there, and there's listen. If you want to start some beef with people, say that your country is a team that you want to have in your group for the World Cup. South Africans then take too kindly to Mexicans saying,
Mm-mm.
"Oh, well, South Africa's easy work," and South Africans are like, "I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that did not go well. No,
Bro,
I
what?"
saw those.
Wow.
Mm-mm. And,
Whoa.
and South African do not play around when they're online.
Oh,
The whole country will come.
Oh,
trust me.
you need to
Yeah.
drop the link in the chat for that and the Insta chat for that. I gotta check that out. That's
Man,
funny.
Yeah.
oh, that was a good try. No, and we had like Bloom also in San Luis was one of our
Mhm.
midfielders. You say something bad about any of their players online,
Oh yeah, they come for you.
you get the whole country.
Right. Some cyber attacks.
Uh, I, I'm surprised they don't have the skills to do the DDoS attacks because I think they probably shut down the website all
Wow.
on their own. But yes, I think they do cover their country well, and I have a lot of friends from South Africa here in St. Louis. I can tell you that um, it's
Whoa.
probably a day off for them tomorrow. But but yes, I think Mexico need to maybe don't go too far thinking that it's gonna be an easy game because
Right.
they don't know. So
Yeah.
so which game are you? So I know, Cressy, your game will be the South Africa one that you
Hmm.
mentioned.
My game.
Chris, is there one of those three one that's a must for you?
I think.
Oh
Well, I mean, here, go Chris.
yeah.
Go Chris.
No. I'm on that South Africa Angola game for sure.
Mhm. No, like I think for me, like South Africa's an interesting team just because you you may not rate their team because they don't have players in big leagues. But I mean, the South African League is one of the best leagues in Africa, period. And
Mm.
so you do that, you have what I would say is pound for pound the best goalkeeper in Africa, and Ronan Williams. And now you put that up going against an Egypt side who, oh, by the way, it's just an angry Mo Salah now. No, not just Mo Salah, angry Mo Salah. Oh, and by the way, Omar Marmoush on the other side, as if he's not good, right? And
Right.
so I think it's a very fascinating matchup
Mm.
of two styles and players going against a team that could do a lot of interesting things. Good shot. So I think that's a fascinating matchup because you got names on one side and probably a collective unit on the other, and so we'll see kind of what goes through. And like if last AFCON is any indication, like the teams are the teams that tend to do well versus the names, and so I'll be curious to see what comes of it, and that's where it's a fascinating watch for South Africa versus say an Egypt there.
I'm gonna really try to wake up for that Mali Zambia game too. That's an
Mm,
early one. I'm glad I got everything recording on BN Sports, but or on
yeah,
through Fubo, but like definitely like if I don't wake up, at least I know it's recorded and I can watch it later. I just
yeah.
there's always that thing though. If you don't watch the early games and then you're watching a later game, that you're gonna hear about the scoreline of the early game, and then you're like, do you still go back and watch it? Would you still go back and watch it?
I do so much work that if I'm gonna watch a game, like everything is off. Like the phone is down. It's like, listen,
Right.
talk to me. I'm gonna go watch it. Once I hear it, it's just like, listen, it's highlights. I'm sorry, I'm watching highlights. Don't ruin this for me. I go from like a 2 hour thing, like, okay, we're in it. We got snacks. I got my
Yeah,
notepad and taking notes.
love
To,
it.
oh, yo, did you see how Zambia came back and won? Be it sports. three
Highlights.
minute
Boom.
recap. Let's go. Like,
Uh, okay, so speaking of snacks, since you brought it up, what are the typical go to snacks for you? I mean, when it comes to sitting down for 2 hours, what do you got to have? What are the go tos?
if so, if I'm watching something live, I am water only. I
Okay.
am just water because I am like I feel like if I'm chewing, I'm gonna miss something. Like I feel
Mm.
like if I hear peanuts crunching in my mouth, I'm like, ooh, what did the commentator just say? I don't know. I don't know. So for me, if it's just me and it's live, it's their focus. I'm like, okay, mental, not mental. If I'm rewatching it, it's something that's not dry. So like chips,
Okay.
maybe
Chips are dry, aren't they?
I'll go. I'll
What
go.
kind of?
I'm just corn chips, or if I'm really feeling like this is a special occasion for the rewatch, it's
Yeah.
plantain chips. It's
Okay.
some almonds, some beer nuts, and then just me and maybe a nice. If I want to treat myself, a nice jarrito just on the sides. Like, okay, we're in. We're good, and life
Okay.
is good.
Did you just call that a jarrito?
I called it a jarrito because I just did the thing. So I'm gonna slowly just fall and just pull this over my head and be like, don't hate me for this, guys. I'm
It's
sorry.
it's it's cool. It's cool. We call it soccer. You call it football. I mean, we call it, it because on these parts,
And listen, as a New Mexican, yes, tell me about your parts, sir. Tell me about those parts. Tell me
oh
how
well.
that life goes.
Well, I know in Mexico they call it a jarrito.
I,
is is
you know
a
the
He give you that. Yeah, sorry, Kwasi. Yeah, he just hit you with it.
no, it's okay because like it's wild to me because like I remember when I started really following like women's football and Alexi Putellas was there and I was just like, wait, I took one semester of Spanish. I know what those two L's mean. Stop it. It's we're back in this. Like, and
yeah.
so
It's like
like
it's like
when
a
I
roll
see
with
it, it's just like
H.
it goes. This is what happens when you're fluent in French because you see the J like, okay, mais c'est un jarrito, mais oui, on parle français, c'est ça. And then you're like, no, it's a new thing. So for the new Mexicans out there, I'm sorry. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
no. It's. I mean, it's a Mexican thing, but I mean, like, I
The
just.
new Mexicans, the old Mexicans, the part-time Mexicans. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
Oh
Man, he just
man,
went all out.
he did. He did. It's funny.
You guys, what? Okay, you guys, when
I
you see
know.
the goal, you'll understand.
I'm
When
at
you see the goal,
72.
you'll understand.
No, it's all funny and all relative because like a lot of people who don't travel the U.S. like they always think when they think New Mexico they think we're like in another country and it's like no, we're still in the U.S. We're right next to Texas and
Yeah.
Arizona. There's these memes out there where the outline of the U.S. is like everything around New Mexico. And it's like so hilarious. When I first moved here, everyone was like, "You got to get shots." I'm like, "Nah, man. We're still in the U.S. It's not like it's not technically a part of Mexico." It's
Ooh.
funny.
Chris, have
You
you
know
seen the
what?
second goal yet?
I just saw it, and you know what? This is this
Okay, I
is
just saw that too. That was pretty
this
sick.
is the picture that you wanted to see for African soccer or African football. This is what now needs to be on repeat
Yeah.
until tomorrow.
Yep. Skip the first one.
Yes,
Go to this one.
miss the PK, all that. Just that,
Yeah.
that right there. No look. You don't know where the goal is. All you know is that ball. It's yours.
Mhm.
You see how he's looking? He does not know
hmm
where the thing is first.
You see that little boy. He was like, "Oh,
Eh,
I gotta." He just knows one day he's gonna be playing. That's all.
and that's the one look that you need for a kid to go and says, "I saw it at home in our stadium."
Mm.
That's what. And not supposed to celebrate that much, but this is the type of goals we
Oh
need to see.
gosh, seeing it up close is so
Right?
sweet.
It's a different thing. Yeah.
in your home country.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can. I can see how that would be. Wow, that is just something else right there. Does okay? So let's put that goal up against Sebastian's goal from the last Afcon. Are you still giving it to Sebastian? Because I mean, both equally are like amazing goals.
Mm,
I think
What
Sebastian
would you
still
think?
gets it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think his was a lot cleaner. Because if you look on the bicycle kick here, it kicked a little bit of his chin, so it was not like a full laces, like a full
Mm.
Ronaldo lace
yeah.
bicycle.
So
But
Mo, you might want to try to create a collection of these banger goals somehow, because we might want to at some point revisit, or at least maybe, I don't know, vote on them. But
Mhm.
say less. We market. Oh, we have
yeah,
to. And also, I don't know if you mentioned it, but in the chat when we're talking about the jerseys, um,
yes,
I
Matt's
I,
gonna work on that.
I know that's next. We'll definitely will have to get your input because I think you're the more stylish of the two of us. Or
I
maybe
might.
I'm just talking for
Yeah,
myself. Quincy, I don't know about
sounds
you,
good.
but
Sounds good. Could be fun.
Guys, I'm barely famous. I can't say
you,
No,
Spanish
you're
words.
you're
I'm
very
barely
famous.
famous.
no,
So
you know
like at
what?
this point, demerit point.
The
Demerit
very
point.
famous people are the one that always say I'm not very famous.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why I'm saying I'm barely famous.
No,
Okay,
no.
I'm barely not famous. That's why I'm saying that. I'm
Anyone that
not.
says I am not famous or I am barely famous or are famous,
You guys are famous, man. To
just
be
stop.
on a live stream with two other podcast hosts, and I mean, yeah, definitely.
No, you're
It's
famous too.
you
I
guys, man. Wow.
I think what we're missing is everybody else, and we know who's not on here. Um, that are in the chat and even in our Instagram chat. I can't wait for the time where this screen here, we have like
Yeah,
5 or 6 people watching the game
got to get Matt
together.
on. Got to get Grego
Yeah.
on. Got to get Reggie on.
Yes. I don't know if it will be the final or something, but I want to see everybody on that stream because there's one thing that we have to see more and more is
Yeah,
yes, Equanti and I watch, AFCON because we have that direct connection, it's
Yeah.
right.
but
Yeah,
we
that
need
whole chat.
more of everybody to come and watch it because
Hmm.
this is what show you the entry almost to the rest of the world that necessarily don't get the views unless it's a huge tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Mm.
those famous guys because they play in the big European teams. But that one passion thing is, I think,
Mm,
what we're kind of missing, right?
Mm.
true.
Right.
Here's a question for you guys to think about as you go.
Okay.
Like we know tournament scouting is a thing. Okay, let's not pretend that people have scouts that are in academies. They'll wait for a tournament and be like, actually, you scored 2 goals. We want that here. So I'm wondering if you guys have, you don't have to have an answer for it right now, but I'm wondering if you guys have like a top 4 or 5 players you think a good tournament from them, and then maybe they're upgrading to another league somewhere else. Just to keep this in mind as this goes, because it'll be
Mhm.
interesting. Because like after Copa in Canada, like we saw what we saw, Kone got sold, we got Cornelius got sold, and a bunch of others. And so watching AFCON, and it'll come. So we should keep an eye on some players we think
Okay.
that are doing enough to say, I'm not saying it won't all be the Prem. Let's be real.
Yeah,
We know the
doesn't
Prem
matter.
loves.
Yep.
It'll
Yeah.
be France and Belgium. They'll be like them. The French ones. We like them. But let's keep a list of who we think could do
Okay.
some. We're going to get the extra pop of being here. And I'd like
Yeah,
Yeah.
to also take the opportunity to thank
yeah,
VPNs and Channel 4.
yeah. And I'm going to make sure that, Quincy, you answer my question first before I tell you, because in our
Mm.
last previous show, I asked you, top talent who you should look up to, and you're like, I need to know a little bit more of how the game goes, and then you give me names. So write that down too.
Yeah, of
You
course.
first, and then
Mm.
Musa will
I'll,
answer.
I'll be a good guest. I'll be a good guest. No worries.
That's
Or the
too
Oh,
next time I'm here, I'll just pronounce everything wrong to the nth degree, so that we're just like,
that's
"Hi,
that's funny.
don't get in
can I
trouble
have some
now.
jalapenos with my tacos?" That's
He's trolling me hard now. I know it.
now I'm going for the juggler now.
Chris and
No,
Kranzi, Chris, nice to meet you. Now there's the battle.
yeah, no, it was awesome. That's awesome. I just really enjoyed the Jarritos thing. I was like, wow, okay,
I
that's cool. That's cool.
Ooh, nice save by the goalkeeper. But it's funny to me because I'll go in and out, and you can really tell who I've been hanging out with recently
Hmm.
based off how I start saying things. Because I haven't seen my Honduran or El Salvadorian friends in a minute, just
Yeah.
because our schedules haven't matched up. But when I'm around them, it's like, oh wait, no, the Yays, yeah, we're back. We are back. The Yays did well this year. Now take me away from them, and I'm just like, hi, I'm going to Taco Bell and gonna enjoy my time and Gordita Crunch Supreme for the best of us. But with them, it's like,
Yeah.
no, flat. We're going over there. We're making everything on the grill, bring everyone, and we're having a good time. So it really
Well,
does
have you?
show who I've been talking to or not.
Well, I don't know if you guys have seen on. It's been on social media. It's probably on Instagram. It's probably on Facebook. But like, the guy rolls up in the drive-through and he's like, he wants to get like some carne asada
Yeah.
fries, and the guy's like, no. He goes, what? He goes, say it right. And he goes, I need some carne asada fries. And then the guy's like, he's like, boop. He's like, did you record that? And he's like playing it back to him. It's like the most hilarious
Yes.
thing because it is kind of
And
hard to say carne asada the correct way, honestly. But
You should agree.
yeah, it's that's funny. So you're good.
and,
You're good.
and you know you have diverse friends when you're speaking with them. You bring each countries in that conversation. There's one word of that country in your sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you know you have diverse friends.
Right.
That's funny because my older brother went all around the world for school. So he was in Aruba for a minute, he was in Ghana for a minute, he was in Texas for a minute, he's in Georgia for a minute, he was in Jamaica for a minute. The man's accent is just, you're trying to grasp it and you're not. It's like, sir, you've been to many places. I don't know who
Right.
you are right now. You are not my brother. I love you still, but you are not my brother. So your accents are
That's why people, those that just get to meet me, they don't know where I'm technically from, and
The
it
man
takes
of
them a
mystery.
while
The
to figure
man of
out.
mystery. The man of mystery.
Ah, you just been around. It's just funny when they ask you, it's like, so where do you think I'm from? And I think most of them is Eastern Africa. And I was like,
Oh,
I
you're
don't.
but seeing you, I'm like, I know you're West African. Simply. Oh,
Yeah, well, that's like he was saying, right? Usually with, you know, bone structure, maybe dark coloration, you can
Right.
mostly know
yeah.
which part of the the continent you're from. But then
Yeah.
you get,
So
you know, so I think that's probably where, because that the language can throw you off because you can go
Mhm.
to Cape Verde and then it's Portuguese, you know, in Zimbabwe. I think I love it a little bit Spanish. So depending on where you are in the continent, you know, it's quite interesting, right?
right.
So we're 86 minutes 2-0, which
Yep.
the 2-0 does not really say the full story of the game,
Right.
but
No.
one thing that's constant is that Morocco was the better team and they just were able to finish in the second half.
Yeah. And that's why I think their first half, I wouldn't say they were poor, but it's just, you got to believe that the chances are coming if you keep on building that way. Okay, now,
Ah,
now
yeah.
y'all just having fun.
Yeah. Well, if you knock at the door so many times, you got to put one in,
Mm.
or else.
No, agreed.
And now, Comoros, I think they look tired. It looks like because back heel flips now. Yeah, you know you're feeling it.
Now we giving the
Right.
fans a show. Now we're like,
Yeah,
hey. I know you're in the
Right.
rain. Check these out. Enjoy this. And now let's give you one more for those of you who stayed till the 90.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Oh, come on, they all stay till the 90. There's nobody that leaves those stadiums in the AFCON.
So Quincy,
But
I gotta turn you on to something, man. I know you were like we were talking about snacks a little while ago, and
Uh-uh.
I know you mentioned the Jarritos. So let me throw you on to this right here, so you can get yourself some suckers, man.
okay,
They got them as
He's
they
taking
got them
notes.
as yeah
listen,
they
you're
got them as
speaking
they got
my
them as
language
suckers.
right now. Okay,
Yeah. So just so you know, I mean, you could I don't know if you have the access to Amazon, but you could do that.
I do have the access to Basilville. We'll see what I decide to do with
Okay.
it. Um,
Okay. Yeah, so you could yeah, they got different kinds, man. They got the regular, they got those, and they got the ones with a little bit of a little bit of the tahini on there, you know, so you can get
Ooh,
a little bit spicy kind of vibe too.
yes,
Man,
Hmm.
who would
I
have
do like a
thought you
little
come?
bit of spice. That's for sure.
Who
Okay.
would have thought you would have come to this stream? You had soccer, you had history,
Yep.
you got
He's
gourmet food,
at this point, Chris is
you
Snackyology,
got politics. I'm like, come on.
snackology. Yes.
snackology, baby. Yeah.
But so that brings me to another topic. Then
Okay.
while we're watching soccer, a lot of us, unless we're doing a stream, of course, but do you guys have like a tradition when you're watching, a derby or a tournament? Is there any snacks or food that you get to have it when you get your people over?
So I'll take this one. The last two Afcons, we made it a point to have African fare.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
we did Ghanaian food. We did actually we did yeah we did Ghanaian food, and we did something that was like West African. I think
Mm.
the second time. So we did the goat stew. We did like actual legitimate fufu.
Oh,
This last time we did the jollof. We did
We're gonna keep it peaceful. So, Mo, we're gonna keep it
yeah.
peaceful. We're gonna
okay,
keep it
yeah, yeah. See,
peaceful.
look. See, I didn't. I said it the way I did. I know. I said jollof, right? But
Oh no, no,
I,
no!
no,
It
no, no,
has
no,
nothing. It
no.
has nothing to do with how you said it. We're just
oh,
Nope.
keeping it
The
peaceful.
Jollof Derby, right? The Jollof
Yeah,
Yeah.
Derby between
It's not it's not even a competition, but
it's listen.
it's not even.
Um,
I'm sorry, but it's not even a competition.
listen,
what?
Mo. I'm gonna be a good guest for you. Okay, I'll be a
No,
good
don't
guest
be
for
a
you.
guest. Just speak your mind.
Yeah,
Just
Already,
so that's what
already
that's what
we
we
spoken.
all
would
know
do.
what jollof rice is the best, and I come with facts. So
Listen,
Ooh.
so right now Morocco is still up 2-0 um,
Yeah.
in the
So check
89th
it.
minutes.
So I'll say this. Let me throw this in there. This
uh
year we're actually going to be. I think there's a little Moroccan cafe here, so I think
Ooh,
we're gonna try
oh,
to score the Moroccan food this particular time. We have some friends that are gonna host the championship game for us, and so we'll have
oh,
about 40 heads like on hand to
oh,
watch
nice,
the
nice.
final, and then we're gonna do Moroccan, and everyone's gonna pitch in a little bit, and then and I'll probably make like a button or a sticker or something for that
Mm,
particular thing. So yeah.
man.
no,
I don't know, Quatsi.
I,
Do you have?
all I'm
Can
gonna
you
say is
come on this
this.
side of the world?
Yeah, it's good. Like Mo, do you remember like 4 years ago when like they decided they're like, yo, what would be the food World Cup? Like, who would win the food World Cup of the world if they had that competition with food v food? I
Yeah.
remember for like a hot minute, I spent the time being like, look, on behalf of Africans, I want to apologize for Ghanaians and Nigerians yelling the loudest because there's a whole continent of food out there,
Yeah.
right? It's great, right? Ethiopians right now are be like, hey, 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 like we have good food. Kenyans have great food,
Right.
but all you know about African food is two African countries yelling at each other the loudest. So, on behalf of Africa, guys, there's plenty of great food out there. Don't listen to the loud people yelling, including Nigerians and Ghanaians, myself, because I know I do it sometimes. But there is great food out there. So, if you have the chance, explore the worlds of African football. There's so much. There's a lot of similar, but there's so much. So, that's the only thing I'm going to say in terms of that.
Mhm.
Keeping the peace, because look, I am keeping the peace. That
Tell me
is
the
all.
difference between the two. I've only had one of the two
My
of the Zoloft
opinion,
rice.
and I
He
will
made sure to
say
see.
You know what? You know what? I don't want to. You know what? I've already angered them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Um, so my opinion is simply one I find is much more flavorful. The other
Okay.
I find like if they take the flavor and just replace it with just spice, that's what the other one is. I find that Nigerian jollof is more spice fit versus the Ghanaians is more consistently more flavorful, and
Okay.
so that is that's the major difference. If you like more spice, I think Nigerian is for you. If you like to taste more than just spice, then I
Mm.
think that's where you go with the Ghanaian one. Now, to be a true honest guest, no host here, to me, Senegalese jollof is better than Nigerian jollof, hands down, and is in the same bracket in the different spots than Ghanaian jollof, as Ghanaian jollof and Senegalese jollof. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say for it.
There's a third one.
Everyone in West Africa has a version of jollof. To be perfectly honest,
Okay, but just the common two are like
or the loudest. It'd be it would
okay,
it's the equivalent of like Trinidadians and Jamaicans yelling about who's the best Caribbean country, and then like Aruba's on the
okay,
side, like guys, we
right,
do stuff here too, like.
right, okay, okay.
Yeah, so Senegal just stays on the side. It was like you guys are both fighting for second place. That's why you don't hear Senegal much. I
Man,
know.
there really should be like a AFCON of food, right?
Oh
That'd be
no,
insane.
but and Crossy, I have to say though, to everybody else's ear, Ghana and Nigeria are screaming. They're just talking.
Oh yeah, that it's a conversation.
Yes, it's
It's
just
the
maybe
Yeah.
most
for
heated,
yeah,
insult-filled conversation for sure,
Wow.
but it's
for sure.
still it for them. Maybe everybody else is yelling, but
Yeah.
for us that know,
Talking loud.
it's just a
Yeah,
normal, you know, in the office discussion. It's just that
Nice.
their meter is a little higher than
Yeah.
what you used
oh
to.
of course, yeah. There our 6 is someone else's 12 on a 10
Yes,
register on a 10 click, and that's fine.
exactly.
Like it's
Dang.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a coach Hakimi over here giving instructions.
might as well. Got to show that he's coming in for a little bit more work. Shows he's more versatile than just a player. But no, I think for Morocco, this is a good result. You get the
Yes.
Mm.
two. You're not angry about it. You wish you could have scored a little bit earlier. If you hit the PK, it's 3. But no, I think
Right.
this is a solid opening for them. Comoros was going to challenge them the most
Mm.
defensively, I think. And so for them, they did what they needed to do and just don't concede in the last few minutes and see this game through. And I think you leave this excited and happy. I mean, you leave this game satisfied, not necessarily excited.
Yeah, it looks like a few people either the rain or they went party early.
Once you got the 2, they're like, okay, we got this. The bag is secured.
Right.
Now let's go
We
party outside.
Yeah.
But no, definitely. And I guess also I have to give Comoros their props as pretty much what you saw. The first goal was they kind of fell asleep, um,
Mm,
and
Yeah.
the goal by Khabib. There's nothing. I mean,
too hot.
yeah,
Yeah.
and even the Comoros fans when they saw it, you just go,
You can't be mad at that
no,
goal. Like
no.
Yeah.
So I think it was just maybe the brilliance of Morocco on those two goals kind of popped up on those two moments. But
Yeah.
I think they will still have a lot to discuss within themselves. But
mm.
So what's the next game you're gonna live stream and when?
I'm thinking tomorrow,
Okay. I
South
mean,
Africa,
I'm off.
Angola.
Yeah.
I'm off until the 5th of January. So yeah.
So
Reach
I'm
out to
not
folks. Yeah.
off, but I'm hoping I do one game each
Hmm.
day.
Yeah.
Senegal is a
Yeah.
guarantee that's happening.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for sure. No doubt.
Yeah.
Um, but it looks like South Africa, Angola is one.
Okay.
Senegal, Botswana, and after that, I'm gonna send you guys the whole schedule that I'm thinking about doing it. But if you guys are planning on doing any of those live stream, just let
Yeah.
me know as well. Um,
Yeah.
Even if I don't show up, we'll make sure that we blast it all over the place because we
Mm,
got to make sure that AFCON's getting its due representation
for
and that
sure.
Chris and Twasi and everybody else that's showing love to the continent.
Oh
Sure,
yeah,
it's
for
because
sure.
that's the only way you can do it. So, but
Love
with
it.
No,
that
definitely.
say, guys, Chris, go ahead and just very briefly, since we already shared people,
Yeah.
where can they find you? And we'll make sure we put your details in the comments.
Yeah, definitely just find me on like I said, all platforms that or well, Twitter and X, Twitter, whatever. And Instagram at by Chris Walker. And then of course you can follow Black Diamonds at Black Diamonds NM on both X, Blue Sky, and Instagram.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Like I
Yep.
see.
And same for me. Africans, 3A's on the cans, FC on all platforms, all podcasting. You can find us there. And yeah, just again, keep on spreading the love for that. We all cover are intrigued with African content to some degree. We also do other stuff. So follow us there, see our different takes, and let's keep on growing this lovely community of international people who, for I, don't pronounce words properly. We'll end there because and I will own that. I will wear that crown with shame until the end of this
Potato,
year.
potato. That's cool.
But was
It's a
there was another one I was thinking of, and I
multicultural
forgot it.
world. We all
Yes, for
pronounce it
sure.
differently. But yes, definitely appreciate you all for joining me for another Mo Football live stream of the AFCON 2025. It was a fun one, and we'll do a lot more of those leading to the final, and we'll see who will be called the kings of Africa for at least a whole year. This
Hmm.
boy Musa, Chris Akwasi. Thank you all for joining. Have a blessed Sunday, and you know, keep enjoying football.
We will. We will.
Let's get it.